Matchday Live on Wolves TV. Listen for free online at wolves.co.uk or on the move anywhere in the world via the Wolves app.
Neves brings it down on the volley. Oh, you must be kidding me! Ruben Neves has just struck a sensational goal. Oh, it's heard in. It's the Anderden Donker who arrives. Oh, the brilliant Belgian in the right place at the right time. Calls it all. That's unbelievable. Jean Martinho has whipped it into the far top corner. Can you believe this?
Derby Day in the Midlands. This is Wolves TV, Matchday Live Extra, coming to you from the home of football. Wolverhampton Wanderers against Aston Villa, one of the most historic battles in English football, and what a battle we could be in for this lunchtime. Unfortunately, no supporters in the crowd as of yet. It's still not the same without you, but we hope to bring you a flavour of the build-up here before kick-off, and then, of course, our full match commentary with myself, Mikey Burrows, and Andy Thompson. You can also see joining us, as ever, Chris Iwelumo and Carl Ikeme as well. We've got plenty of big guests lined up for you between now and 12:30 as well. We should start very quickly, boys, before we get onto the team news, with a little bit of reaction to what happened last weekend. Carl Ikeme, you weren't with us last Sunday, and you probably missed quite a good one to miss out on, because it wasn't a great second half for Wolves at the very least.
Yeah, obviously couldn't be here last week. Caught up with the highlights. Disappointing result. I think that can happen to anyone at Liverpool, let's be honest. But I think it's just the individual errors that were disappointing. I think the Wijnaldum goal was obviously a screamer. But I think the individual errors would annoy Nuno more than anything, because you can't win games when you're making errors like that. And they don't happen very often with Cody. But that is what it is. I know there's a lot of talk about formations and should we be going back to three at the back or this or that. You can't legislate for balls coming in the box and other errors that are individual. They're not down to formation. It's not being cut apart at times. We seem stretched at times with the goals, but Liverpool can do that to you on the break as well.
Well, I know Chris Iwelumo is itching to come in. Whilst he does, let's bring up the team in just a second for you today, because there are quite a few interesting things around the selection for today. They are continuing with four at the back, but Willy Bolly is dropping out, Romain Saiss coming in, and Fabio Silva getting his first Premier League start, Chris Iwelumo.
Yeah, it's no surprise, Mikey, that Fabio Silva's coming in. I felt that with Daniel Podence, when he was playing that kind of the false striker, and we all kind of alluded to it last week, didn't we? That we never really had that depth. You know, we never had someone stretching the pitch, that kind of outlet, and we kind of looked at the positive side of it, that they kind of rotate quite well, that 3, that 4, whatever it may be. But again, we never really had someone taking us up the pitch. And I think Fabio Silva, I've got to say, the 86 minutes he played against Arsenal, I thought he was outstanding. Some nice little touches. Again, he's in from the start today, and that's a massive difference. That's a massive difference just coming off the bench. You know, you have to prepare completely differently. Straight away, you can see getting the minutes in his legs. It'll be massive. I've got to say, I don't know. The last game is as good as Liverpool were. I've got to agree with Carl. There was individual errors. And do you question the formation? I think it's one of those things. I'm not sure if the actual players really bought into that formation and that setup with the false striker. So hopefully with Fabio Silva in today, I think that will give us that outlet. But and obviously Willy Bolly, you know, for me, that's a massive decision. It's a massive decision because of what he brings. You know, the physicality, you know, the leadership, that understanding beside Cody. And we know that Saiss has got that anyway. Again, experienced head. He's going to come in. He knows the job well. He's going to be a threat at set pieces. You know, he brings goals to the table as well. So, you know what? It just shows you the depth and quality that we have. You know, it's an interesting one with Dendoncker in that position, because Dendoncker he's box to box. He gives that protection, but I think he can also play in that centre-back role, can't he?
Yeah. Okay, we'll come back to that point about the midfield in just a second. Tomo, on a more broader point, before we bring in our first guest, Nuno has always talked about one of the qualities of this team is its ability to bounce back. We saw the way they handled the 4-0 defeat to West Ham early in the season. You've got to expect that they can do so again.
You would think so, wouldn't you? So, look, I'm sure there were a lot of people who were hurt by that defeat at Liverpool. But look, say, if you're not going to compete with teams, and I don't think they really did against Liverpool, I think they're given too much time and space. And with the quality that Liverpool have got, they just opened them up and said they've got 4 goals. But I think they'll be fired up for it today, especially being a local derby as well. He's been positive with his selection in the team, which I'm a bit surprised about as well, with Saiz coming in as well for volley. But again, if you're at home, where else can you do it? So look, you've got to go for it. You've got to try and get a win. And there's enough quality out there to cause Aston Villa a big problem. But yeah, I'm sure there'll be a lot of players out there who want to put that behind them from last week.
Hope so. We will talk more about it. We want to get our first guest on and join us in this conversation. Wolverhampton Wanderers with a new partner. Our new betting partner is Boyle Sports, and joining us from their club offices is Leon Blanche. Leon, great to have you with us on Matchday Live Extra. How excited are you as an organisation to partner up with Wolves?
Yeah, look, it's fantastic, Mikey. Thanks very much for having me on the show today. We're very proud at Boyle Sports to be a partner now with Wolverhampton Wanderers. We see such great work that's gone on over the past couple of years. We're hoping to do something similar, breaking into the UK market, and we think it's a match made in heaven. So really looking forward to working with the guys from now up until the end of the season initially.
Big question is, will today be a match made in heaven for Wolves fans?
Well, look, it's I suppose you could pick this game as the best game to come off a 4-0 hammering. It's a derby, so you don't need to get up for this. You should be already ready for it. And Villa, they've been okay this season. I mean, they've either won or they've lost. They haven't drawn yet. They've only played 9 matches, but they've scored quite a number of goals. Yeah, take out the 7 against Liverpool, but they still got 13 goals in 8 games. So they're able to score, but they're also able to concede. But Wolves on their day can beat anybody. And they won this corresponding fixtures 2-1 last year. And I'm probably going to go for a similar scoreline today. I think 2-1 to Wolves. It's 8-1. Obviously, the 2 lads who scored last year are not in the team for different reasons today. And I'd like to wish Raul Jimenez the very best in his recovery. First and foremost, I hope he gets well soon. But 2-1 for me, Wolves to beat Villa.
Do you know it's just clicked? I can actually bet now. I just remembered. I can bet. I'm not football anymore. So I'm getting your contact, Leon. I'm waiting for my free bets, mate. 8-1, you said, yeah.
Hang on in there, Leon. Carl Ikeme, Leon's predicting goals. These 2 teams have generally been pretty decent defensively. Wolves certainly at home. And in Villa this year, a goalkeeper you know pretty well in Emi Martinez has done really well for Villa.
Yeah, he's been brilliant, and when he came to Wolves, I think you'll know Mikey as well, and we've seen the potential that he had. It was a battle for the shirt for me and him, and I'd always knew he had the potential to go on and do what he's doing now. He just needed games, and now he's got them games and experience. He's starting to shine, and he's a great lad, and I'm really happy for him. And it's a good signing for Villa. I think they've been struggling to find someone who fits the mold as their number one, and obviously I don't want him to make a mistake today or anything like that. Obviously, I want us to win the game, but I wish him success in this season because everyone knows he's such a lovely lad, and he deserves this. He's been patient at Arsenal for a long time. There's every argument he should be Arsenal's number one, in all honesty. But he's made the big move to Villa, and I'm sure we'll see him for the next few seasons to come. I really do think it's a good signing for Villa.
Well, 2 very good goalkeepers on show today, but Leon, you're confident there will be goals. So who are you tipping up for first goal scorer?
Yeah, well, I think, look, you've got to look at Neto, haven't you? He's been very good, bar the last game. He obviously scored the equaliser against Southampton. He scored in the victory at the Emirates. You're looking at Podence. I mean, both of them are around about, like, Podence is 6-1. Neto is 11-2, which is 5.5-1 to score the first goal. And I heard the guys talk about Fabio Silva. Big game for him as a young guy to start in a derby. I was impressed with him at the Emirates when he came off the bench in not the nicest of circumstances, but he showed a little bit of a level of maturity for such a young kid to try and link up the play. So he's in there at 11-2 as well. I think from a Wolves perspective, Traore for me, if he can get on the ball and get him involved in the game, see can he get at this Villa back four, which I think he can. It's going to be interesting down that right-hand side for Wolves, left-hand side for Villa, Grealish and Traore. We want Grealish going the other way and not going that way. So, look, it's going to be interesting. But an assist for Traore is 23-10. I have a feeling he's going to create something today. I'm a huge fan of Adama Traore, and I think he could be a potential match winner today with his creativity.
Tomo, he's due, isn't he, Adama Traore? He's not scored a Premier League goal in 2020. It's been an awful long time.
Yeah, it is. For somebody of his quality as well, isn't it? So you'd expect him to add to that tally. We spoke a few weeks ago about players adding to that tally of goals from different positions, and he's definitely one who should be adding goals to it. He should be getting double figures at least a season, in my opinion. I think that he should be. Look, we know about his assists, we know about what he can do, but I just think that I'd just like to have a gamble a little bit. So, like, there's sometimes where he's waiting for things to happen, and I think that with his ability and his pace to get into there, I think he should definitely be scoring a lot more goals for me.
I think it's important as well that everyone chips in now with Raul being out as well. We haven't got the goals that Raul's going to bring now for however long, and we're going to need goals from all different areas. Neto's chipping in with his fair few, and it's time for Adama too as well. He had a slow start to the season, didn't really get the games and get up and running, but I expect him to start scoring goals pretty soon now because we do need him. And I think with the false striker or the false nine, I don't think that helps Adama as well. I think you need a pivotal point to give him space as well. So hopefully he can get on the score sheet today as well.
Leon, before we let you go, you've very kindly given us some £100 charity bets that I would like the money to go to the Wolves Foundation when I win. I don't know whether you're aware, but these boys are awful at their predictions. Chris Malamo is by far the worst. So because it's the first one, we've decided to give Looms the opportunity to try and redeem himself and win some money for charity. So Looms, what is your £100 charity bet today?
Hi, Leon. Yeah, well, I agree. I think both teams are going to score today. I think there's going to be 4+ goals. I think Daniel Podence is going to score, and I think Wolves are going to win.
How many different bets is that, mate? You've got the goal scorer,
mate, yeah,
back goals.
I was going to throw corners and all sorts of.
He's got an acca.
Charity bet, not an accumulator.
Chris, I think Chris has been on the Boil Sports bet builder to build that one up, but it's an 11-1 chance. Look, I mean, the 4+ goals is probably going to be the hardest one to get right out of those selections. Podence, he can always score a goal. Wolves, I think we're all agreed Wolves are going to win, and both teams to score should happen. So 11-1 for Chris's selection. And Mikey, I believe you've got one as well.
Well, yeah, and listen, Looms has obviously gone ridiculous with his, and
what are you going to say, Mikey? 1-0, 1-0.
He's brave and bold, mate.
As I said before, we've got two very good goalkeepers. We've got two very good defensive teams. So the idea there's going to be more than 4 goals is just silly from Looms. So
hold on a second. Did we not just get beat 4-0?
Hang on.
Did we not just get beat 4-0?
I've gone with the sensible bet here.
I wonder what this is.
Connor Cody to score and Wolves to win.
Well, look, it'd be great for Connor Cody to get back on the score sheet. He's been brilliant as Wolves captain, and every player has an off day. We all know that. So Wolves to win, Cody to score at any time. 2-0, 20-1, Mikey. Yes. I hope you're collecting.
Yes, that is what I love. Thank you, Leon. See, I'm the one trying to win money here, Looms. You've got to put some serious thought into this. Come on, son.
Okay, Michael.
Leon, brilliant. Thank you very much for being involved. We'll, of course, get you on plenty of times on Wolves TV Matchday Live Extra. Thank you very much.
Cheers, lads. All the best.
Thanks, Leon. Cheers,
Leon Blanche from Wolves' new betting partner, Boil Sports, with some £100 charity bets that hopefully is going to earn some money for the Wolves Foundation. And if Looms' one comes off, I mean, anything could happen if all that ridiculous long list of stuff. I mean, His list of Santa was shorter than that. Jesus. Let's talk about the midfield, though, Looms, because you wanted to chip in on it beforehand. It's an interesting battle that I think that that Wolves didn't really win the midfield last week at Liverpool, and that's what really hampered them. So today they've taken Neves out, so a lot of pressure on Dendoncker and Moutinho against a 3 for Villa to try and get control of the game.
Yeah, and it's something I feel that they're comfortable in doing. I think Dendoncker, you know, the energy that he brings, you know, he's everywhere. I think he sees the danger. He knows when he can get forward as well. I think there's a responsibility more so on probably Neto and Podence that they drop back. I think without the ball, they do that very, very well anyway. And you know what? It was one of them. We did get dominated in that position. You can see that it's so important for the likes of Moutinho and Neves when he's playing the Donker that we do play the way that we want, that we do implement, and we do win those battles in the middle of the pitch. Because when we don't, we can see what happens. Then defence are called into question, called into action too many times. So I feel that change needed to be made. You know, that's a genuine, honest thing that I think Neves and Moutinho, I think we're going to see them playing together less and less for the fact that I think Dendoncker is a perfect suit for either. So it's going to be one or the other. And there's going to be times, there's going to be moments when they come in when we are very dominant and we are going to be seeing a lot of the ball. But like you say, the manager's got big decisions. He's got hard decisions to make. All managers want those decisions. You know, they want those headaches. So it's no surprise to me because I think Dendoncker, for me, has probably been the main man this campaign for sure. I just need him to bring some more goals as well. How many opportunities has he had? He gets himself into those areas. He's asked the question, and it's just that maybe that little bit, the small margins. Even against Liverpool, he could have got a couple of goals just in those right moments. You know, I think I need him bringing more goals.
Well, let's focus on the midfield a little bit more. Joining us now is a man who became synonymous playing in the position for our Midlands rivals. Welcome to Matchday Live Extra. A big welcome to Lee Hendry. Great to have you on with us, Lee.
How you doing? You okay?
I'm very well, thank you. Before we get into the midfield battle today, we do have to clear something up. Despite the fact that you are Villa through and through, is it true that your son is a Wolves fan?
Well, let me tell you, it is very, very true as it goes. And there's either going to be some tears or there's going to be some form of activity in this household today, believe me, because the two sons, one's Villa and one's obviously Wolves. And trust me, they'll both have either kit on. And whoever wins, I mean, there'll be certainly tears in here for sure. I can guarantee that. I'm hoping it's the Wolves boy. That's all I'm saying. Harley, who's the big Wolves fan. But I take it you guys will think otherwise.
Talk to me about this midfield battle today, because as Looms has just been mentioning, Wolves have taken Neves out today, 2 against 3, but some real quality on show.
Oh, yeah. But I mean, there is, I look all over the pitch. I think first and foremost, what Nuno's done at Wolves and what players he's brought into that squad is phenomenal, and how far they've come. And again, the same with what Villa have got on show today, McGinn, Grealish, and great to see the young boy Ramsey involved today. It's fabulous that Dean Smith's given that little opportunity to go and grasp that in such a massive game, might I add. So I'm really looking forward to the battle in that midfield. I think that's where the game will be won and lost today.
Absolutely.
Just on that, Lee, you were a bit of a maverick as a player yourself. Jack Grealish gets, they say that he's very much like yourself. So with Adama Traore bombing forward, Jack Grealish has a defensive responsibility as well. So what would your manager say to you, because you had the free rein to go around everywhere, or do you have to think defensively as well, or do you just switch off and just want the ball?
Yeah, it's a great point. It really is, because we know what Traore can do. He's a fabulous player first and foremost going forward, and his attacking abilities, second to none. And today it's going to be a big test for Target if he's out on that right hand side, which I'm pretty sure he will be. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be just times when he's going to have to come back when it's, certainly under the cosh, which they will be at times throughout the game today. And I think it's just picking your times when to actually go forward and try and expose Wolves as much as possible. I think that right side in particular is going to be a telling factor today, because like you say, you've got Jack who can who can obviously create and go and be a big problem. And you've got Traore on the right-hand side, who certainly will be a problem for Villa this afternoon. So it's going to be picking your times when to go and when he's going to have to get back and help target it, because that is going to be a big test, that is.
Lee.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
We all know about Grealish. We all know about what he can do. But what do you think the big difference is this year in the Villa team compared to last year?
Do you know what? I think last season was, I feel it was all about actually staying and fulfilling the Premier League status. I really do. There was a lot of pressure on Dean Smith. I'm glad that they've stuck with him, by the way, because I do feel he was the right man. And I think what really stood out for me is you go back to the Championship when they got promoted, and they had so many loan players. They had players that certainly had to go back to their clubs, and it was almost that Dean had to really buy a new football team and try and make them just tick straight away. And as we know these days, going into the Premier League's hard enough, but to bring 6-7 new players into a squad of a calibre of Aston Villa and the pressure that mounts on top of that, it's a tough go and it's a tough ask. So I do feel that lots of players have settled in a lot better. In particular, look, Douglas Luiz is one that stands out for me. I feel that he's one that really stood out. Konsa's obviously establishing himself. Mings we know all about. And I do feel that, the goalkeeping area in particular last season was one that we always look at and think, obviously Martinez coming into goals now and you just feel that they didn't, I don't think until they had Heaton in there, it was one that we had a leader back there. And I feel that the blend that he's got in that squad at the moment, particularly bringing in Ollie Watkins in this season, I feel it's a different dimension to the way Villa play. And a bit like when Dean was at Brentford, where he liked to play expansive football, and he's got personnel to go and do that, even bringing Barkley. And I just feel that, from last season, lots of players have built with confidence. They've got to know each other a little bit better. And the units all over the pitch are working a hell of a lot better this season.
Lee, how are you, mate? You okay?
How are you, Pa? You okay?
Yeah, not too bad. I was just going to ask you, you obviously had a flying start to the season, but you've been stuttering a bit late, even though the games have been tight. Is there any reason for that, or are you worried? Any cause for concern?
Yeah, you know what? Obviously, I'm constantly checking on how the games are going, watching games, and there's been lots of positives that you can take out of the games. That's been the reflecting thing for me, is that watching how they've played this season and not come away with result, particularly the West Ham game. I felt that they certainly should have come away with something. It's not really worrying for me at the moment because they're sitting in a great position. They've got 2 games in hand. And I feel that there's more to come from Villa. I really do. I just think if they can shut that door a little bit better defensively, I feel that that's going to be a key area. I feel that what they've got going forward this season, I do think that they'll be a force, and I feel that they'll be better equipped this season to establish that Premier League status. I really do. I think that the players they've got, Traore is playing today, and he hasn't really got going for me. He's sort of been in and out of the team, and I just feel that there's players like that I still think are going to come in and make a bigger impact to the club. So I feel this season, the results, some of the results that they haven't got and maybe should have got, I feel that there's been lots of positives in them games. So it hasn't been an alarming thing for me. It is if they go 3-4 games and not get a win. That's always going to be a big problem. But I do feel that they will continue to get that bit of consistency eventually. And it's just a matter of when.
What does your gut reckon then, Lee?
Well, do you know what? Honestly, it's crazy because obviously I know a lot of Wolves fans, and obviously with the Derby game, you always get the odd texts and the messages and the banter that usually flies around. But you know what? I've been heavily impressed with Wolves. I really have. Over the past few seasons, I stated earlier on what a fabulous job he's done there and the players he's got. I think a massive miss today will be Jimenez, obviously unfortunate circumstances. And I do feel that this will be a very, very tight game. I feel that by the looks of things, it could cancel each other out. I was actually sitting on the fence, and I've said this to a few people. I feel that this could be a massive draw factor today. I really do. I like to say it'd be a Villa win, but I feel that both teams at the moment are both capable of going and getting a result. But I think I'm gonna have to sit on the fence with that. I'm gonna go 1-1 draw today.
Well, good luck playing peacekeeper in your household.
I know.
Thank you, Lee. Great to have you
Thanks,
with us.
guys. All the best. Good to see you.
Take it easy, mate.
See you, Hendrik, here with us on Wolves TV. Interesting that he thinks that both teams could cancel each other out and there won't be many goals. I mean, that seems like a sensible point of view, really. I don't know why anyone else would suggest that there would be lots of goals in this game. Let's very quickly, before we get our next guest on, let's mention Raul Jimenez, because people might have seen on social media that the banner is in place at the top of the steeple stand on the far side. Raul, I think, is the correct pronunciation, which I think I'm right in saying means strength. Obviously, we've seen him. We had the news last week that he is back home. He popped into the training ground this week to see his teammates. He has been a huge loss to this side, clearly, from the performance and what happened at Liverpool. But Carl Ikeme, when you see the way the fans have come together and responded in this period, much like it did when, of course, you had your diagnosis, it just shows the strength of community around this place.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, like you alluded to, when I had my illness, and now that Raul had a very nasty injury, that the city gets behind him, the club gets behind him, the supporters get behind him. I'm sure they'd love to be there to show their support for him, but they thought of a way of how they could, and for them to have the idea and then to execute the idea is incredible. And we see it time and time again when there's someone in need in Wolverhampton, that the fans and the city of Wolverhampton always come behind them, and that's why it's such a special place to myself and everyone to do with Wolves.
Over 21,500, Tomo, raised for this. Of course, some of that has gone to producing the banner that people will be able to see. And say, if you've not seen it, head to the Wolves social media pages to get plenty of pictures of it. The rest of the money, Raul Jimenez is going to pick a charity to go to. It's just such a lovely gesture.
Yeah, it is. So look, and looks like we wish him a speedy recovery and back in the team soon. But yeah, look, Salok, it's a great cause. Salok Jimenez, Salok is well at the moment, so that's great, and he's getting better. He's been to see the lads, and I'm sure that cheered him up as well, going to the training ground. But the support that is echoing what Carl said there, so like the support from the city and the fans and everybody associated with Wolverhampton. So look, it's just great and a worthy cause as well.
Absolutely. And of course, strikers always take their place in the hearts of supporters, because they're the players that get the glory most weeks. And when we looked back on some pretty special meetings between Wolves and Villa of recent years, there was one man in particular that we knew that we had to get on Matchday Live Extra today. He'll be joining us, as you can see, all the way from Switzerland. A massive welcome to Wolves TV and Matchday Live Extra. Leo Bonatini, how are you, my friend?
I'm very good, my friend. And you? Missing your voice.
Oh, well, we're all missing you, my friend, because we're talking, of course, about that famous goal and that famous night when you played your part in beating Aston Villa. What do you remember of that game?
Oh, that was amazing. I can remember the atmosphere at the Molineux. And I came from the bench, and a few minutes later, Jota scored the first. And I remember on the counter-attack, Jota was dribbling. He was driving the ball, and then the ball was there bouncing, and I didn't have chance. I don't know why. Sometimes I'm still watching this goal, and it was really on the corner, and I was really happy to score in this moment. And the atmosphere, and my father always sent me this video because he loves it. He loved this goal.
That's what it is, isn't it? It's those special occasions with the crowd and with it being a night game and the way the whole thing went. Is that right up there as one of the best moments of your career?
Yeah, definitely. It was. I'm quite sure that was the first derby in England, and was a game that we gained some confidence. We came from a beaten from outside game. And it was a good moment. Nuno spoke with us before the game. I remember how we felt all the fires when the boys was entering the game, and the fans was like crazy, and I miss this feeling. Also now everyone knows about what is happening around the world, but fingers crossed that very soon will be possible to see all the crowd again, all the fans at Molineux, and this is what they push the boys.
Because it was a special season overall, really, wasn't it? And it began this incredible journey we've been on throughout this year. Was that Villa game for you and some of the boys in the team one that you kind of really thought, yeah, we can go on and achieve something special?
Yes, because we knew that we were building something. Nuno always used this word, building something. And I think on his music, they sing it about it. And we were doing this. It was hard, few players that we didn't know each other. We were playing together for the first time. And but I think he did it very well. We stick it as a team. And on this time, when you beaten your big opponent, it's a derby, it's a home game in front of your crowd. I think it's something that you as a player, we as a group, we thought that we could go and we could achieve our goals. And step by step, we were believing more that we could achieve, and we go to the Premier, and we did it.
How's life at Grasshoppers? How are you finding it?
Yeah, it's a bit different here. It's more like we have games on an artificial pitch. It's kind of different to play on this kind of game. We must be clever, but the life here is good, and it's almost the same project that they did in Wolves. They want to go for the first league. They want to build a strong team, and hopefully as soon as possible we could achieve the Champions League, because here you have this possibility if we go for the first league. And I think it's good. I'm quite missing the boys in Wolves, but I watch the game, and I'm supporting them.
Absolutely. Obviously, I think you were the second Brazilian to play for Wolves. Obviously, Marçal now following in your footsteps. How do you think he's adapted to it? Did he try and get in contact with you before he came?
No. When I arrived, I remember I spoke with him when he arrived. I say welcome to him, and it was very good. I think I remember when I arrived, it was just Portuguese. It was easy for me because it was the same language, but it's always good when you have someone from your country. And he asked me about the club, all the goals that clubs want to achieve. And he was really happy to be in Wolves. And he came from Lyon. He was playing there, but now he joined for a new project. And he said that, well, I'm really happy to be here. It's a Premier League. It's the biggest championship in the world. And Wolves, it's doing well. And I remember I trained with him for about a month. And he's really a good guy as a player as well. And for what I saw and on the training and a few games, I think he's doing really well. And he will help the boys a lot. And all the stuff as well.
Well, we obviously talked a lot already on the program about Adama Traore going forward. Andy Thompson, as far as Marçal is concerned, Bertrand Traore for Villa will be quite a threat, pushing him back the other way.
Yeah, he will. And said he's got to try and get the upper hand on him, as they say. Marcel said he's going to have to try and put. What we've seen, he's an accomplished player. He likes going forward, but he can also defend. And I think that his experience is going to show today, hopefully, to put Wolves on the front foot going forward. And look, it's going to be a tough game today. So there's going to be battles out there. I think the players all realise how much this counts to the supporters and the whole club in these local derbies. So yeah, it's going to be a good contest, but I'm hoping that he gets himself on top for it.
Carl Ikeme, it's that element though, isn't it, of no fans being in the stadium. a very different feel to the Derby game.
Yeah, definitely. You heard Leo describe the fans coming out when he played against Villa at Molineux. It's and playing in the Derby myself as well. I know that feeling. There's always an edge on it. You can kind of smell it in the air when you come out to warm up. It's just different to a normal match day. But I think with the defeat last week, they'll be seething, they'll be hurt. Villa will be hurt as well at their recent run of form as well. So I think it's going to have that spice in it, just because we both need to win, and we'd love the fans to be there, but it's a really important game for both teams, in all honesty. Wolves want to bounce back from Liverpool, and Villa need a win. They've been stuttering of late, even though they started well. And it's an important game. Talking about Marcel as well, I've been impressed with him as I've seen more. He seems like he's starting to settle more, and it must be difficult coming from another country, as Leo probably explained more, and trying to settle into a system and a culture of playing that you're not used to. And I've been impressed with him every time I've seen him more, and I think he'll go on to improve and do really well for us.
Right, it is prediction time, boys. Chris Iwelumo, we often say as a football cliche that form goes out the window on Derby Day. We know you're confident of goals. What's your actual prediction going to be?
3-1 Wolves.
3-1. You're that confident?
Yes.
Okay. Keems?
2-1 Wolves. 2-1 Wolves. I'm going to go 2-1 Wolves.
2-1. Tomo?
I'm going with Keems. 2-1 to Wolves.
2-1. Leo, what are you going for?
2-0 Wolves.
2-0, yes. Love that from you, Leo Bonatini. Just before we let you go, I know you'll want to join many of us in sending a message to your old teammate Raul Jimenez, who obviously is still recovering at home, and we hope that he gets very well soon.
Oh, I wish him all the best. I wish him he recovers really happy, that he can do whatever he wants to do, that he loves. I prayed for him a lot because he's a good boy. And I was watching the game live. I was shocked when I saw it. But I think, and I wish him that a good return. And fingers crossed that he will be fine, and then he can play for Wolves and give more goals for us, and then we all will be happy with him.
Leo, thank you so much for giving up your time and joining us. All the best for the rest of the season at Grasshoppers. We'll see you soon.
Thank you,
boy. Yes, thank you, boy.
Leo Bonatini with us.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you, my friend, joining us on Wolves TV Matchday Live Extra. The time for talking is at an end. There might not be any supporters inside this stadium, but it still means so much across the West Midlands. Don't go anywhere. Wolves against Villa, full commentary is coming next.
Matchday Live on Wolves TV. Listen for free online at wolves.co.uk or on the move anywhere in the world via the Wolves app.
The Old Goal Club has a new series, My Golden Game. Speaking to former and current players, coaches, managers and fans of the matches that meant the most to them.
It's a club who I have in my heart, and I always keep following it.
I'd been back to Molineux on a few occasions, and I never got a good reception, and that hurt me a little bit. Not that I thought I deserved better, but maybe because of those two games against West Brom, where I scored 4 goals in 2 appearances.
Check out the series so far, featuring the likes of Jodian Lescott, Kevin Doyle, Neil Emblem and Dennis Irwin.
I was absolutely delighted when they came in from England, and even more so when, after having a tough first 4 or 5 months, that we were on a bit of a roll and ended up playing in this fantastic game.
Old Goal Club, My Golden Game, available now.
Wolves TV, the home of live uninterrupted radio commentary of every single Wolves game.
Jimenez! Oh, you beauty!
But that's not all. Wolves TV also brings you extended and alternative match highlights, interviews with the team, behind-the-scenes features and training coverage, plus see every goal Wolves score from every angle.
Jota on the volley, oh, what a goal! That is simply stunning!
So check out Wolves TV online at wolves.co.uk or on the move via the Wolves app. Matchday Live on Wolves TV. Listen for free online at wolves.co.uk or on the move anywhere in the world via the Wolves app.
A Midlands derby with a difference. Just 21 miles, 2 points and 2 places separate these old rivals. Villa have traditionally had the upper hand in the 128 previous meetings, but in recent years, the bragging rights have swung to the old gold. Wolves have lost just one of the last 6 league clashes, including 3 in a row here at Molineux, and both matches last season by a single goal. Neither side is particularly in form coming into this one, though. Wolves beaten by 4 goals at Liverpool last week. Villa have lost 4 of their last 5. In more usual times, we would say form goes out of the window on Derby Day, but crowd or no crowd, local pride is at stake. Can Nuno's side deliver again? 2 changes from the team that started at Anfield. Willy Bolly amongst those dropping to the bench alongside Ruben Neves. Romain Saiz is back after missing the last couple of weeks through COVID, and there's a first Premier League start for Fabio Silva up front. Rui Patricio in goal, Nelson Semedo, Conor Cody, Romain Saiz and Marçal, the Wolves back 4. Leander Dendoncker and João Moutinho, the midfield 2. Daniel Pedente, Adama Traore and Pedro Neto, all supporting Fabio Silva up top. For Villa, they have former Wolves loanee Emi Martinez in goal, Matty Cash, Esri Concert, Tyrone Mings and Matt Target as a back 4. John McGinn, Douglas Luiz and the young teenager Jacob Ramsey in midfield. Bertrand Traore, Ollie Watkins and Jack Grealish are their 3 up top. On the respective benches for Wolves, it's Ruddy, Aït-Nouri, Neves, Bolly, Vitinha, Kilman and Otazawi. For Villa, Jed Steer, Conor Hourihane, Marvellous Nakamba, Anwar El Ghazi, Frederic Gilbert, Ahmed El Mohammadi, and a former Wolves man in Courtney Hawes. What a battle is going to be in store for this one. 2 teams who will not give each other an inch, and hopefully will be in for a special performance here, Andy Thompson.
Yeah, you would hope so, wouldn't you? So look, if you're not up for this game, so look, in the local derbies, then you never will be. So look, there's a lot at stake. I know Villa have got a couple of games in hands and they're just below us. But again, so look, we just need that victory just to push ourselves up and just keep in touch with the top half of the table. Look, say Villa have come on this year. They've bought some good players. Watkins up front is a player that I thought is good up there. He just runs beyond, works hard, tries to stop, and I think that's made a difference to Villa. And we talk about Grealish. I think the main thing is that we've got to just make sure we try and stop him. He's been the big threat, but we've got more than enough that can cause them a problem. Look, the Liverpool game, I just think we were off it a little bit with them. We just give them a little bit too much space, but I don't expect that today.
Just looking to your left-hand side, plenty of dignitaries in the director's box. Brian Little here from the Villa side. Our former sporting director, Kevin Thelwell, is here for the occasion. And of course, Steve Bull. So no doubt we'll hear him at some point over the top of Tomo's microphone. Robert Plant here as well.
Running commentary from him.
Lots of people. And I know there were so many that would have wanted a ticket for this occasion. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for trusting us on Wolves TV to talk you through it as Wolves will go into a pre-match huddle. Looks like Wolves will play from left to right as we look at it, defending the Stancullis North Bank, attacking the Sir Jack Hayward South Bank. steeple stand on the far side with the new Raul Jimenez banner and the top tier. And underneath it, the strength of the Wolf is in the pack. Villa in their claret and blue shirts, white shorts and blue socks against Wolves in the old gold with black sleeves, black shorts and gold socks. Pedro Neto stood over the ball. Mike Dean is our referee. And we are nearly ready to go. A hush falls over this famous stadium as we wait for the go-ahead from TV producers. Flags fluttering in the breeze on the top of the steeple stand. Looks like there will be a bit of a breeze behind Wolves in this first half. Perhaps nerves on the face of Fabio Silva on the far side of the centre circle. What can he produce? As the whistle goes and everybody takes a knee. An important message that continues to be sent around the world. You don't have to agree with the political organisations, but it's important to agree with the overall message. And we're underway on Derby Day.
Yeah, I think they'll be fired up for it, Villa, wouldn't they? So, like, after the defeat here last year, and they said look, they'll Dino as well, so look, their manager, they'll be fired up, wanting to get that victory.
Pedence to Semedo on the halfway line. He'll let it go out of play for another Wolves throw in the early seconds here at Molineux. As Tomo mentions, Wolves were much the better team when these two met here in November of last year. It was a little bit closer at Villa Park after the restart. Semedo is caught, but we play on because Neto is off on a dribble down the right-hand side and setting Pedence away down the touchline. 10 yards from the corner flag, an early right-footed cross in towards Fabio Silva. It needed a header for Matty Cash, and Bertrand Traore putting it behind for the first Wolves corner of the game after less than a minute played.
Great ball in from Pedence. Dennis Roy says, great play by Neto initially, but it was a great ball in, and you're just watching it there. So look, Fabio Silva just got a fraction just behind it, but again, good delivery, ended up going out for a corner.
It's that difference of having a target in there.
Yeah, more central position, isn't it? So look, I'd like him just to stay in that central position as well. Last man, try and push Villa back.
Martinho, right-footed corner from the left-hand side, taken short to Neto. Martinho racing round, but it'll come back to Marçal, who will hang it to the far post. Cody was arriving, but Villa had the numbers back there, and it'll be a free kick to Aston Villa.
It was a great ball in, wasn't it, Marcel? Because you thought Villa then just stopped, hesitated because they thought it was going to be rolled back to Ivan Martinho, but it was a great ball in, well onside. Yeah, so I don't know, I can't see much wrong with that, to be fair. I think it's the Villa lad who's got in each other's way.
966 days since Conor Cody last scored for Wolves, but he's already looking a threat after only 2 minutes, and some really smart people putting their money on him to score today.
Yeah, so I still find it strange that he's actually going up for set plays. It's been that long since we've seen him up there, because when we played with that three at the back, he never wandered past the halfway line.
Yes, Emi Martinez to Esri Konsa, midway inside the Villa half. Now looking to hit a long diagonal in the direction of John McGinn. Semedo tried to challenge, couldn't reach it. The ball comes through to target. Infield towards Douglas Luiz, who's lost out to Dendoncker. Pedence playing one backwards. Martinho under pressure from Grealish, finding Cody, who's played an excellent pass into the feet of Traore on the halfway line, but he couldn't get away from Douglas Luiz, although the physical battle looked like he was going to get away with it. Douglas Luiz fell down.
Just needed
a free kick given against Traore.
Just needed to be sharper there, didn't he, on his turn? Because I heard the shout from Conor Cody turn to Traore. I just think that if he'd just gone straight away, he was away from Luiz. He just hesitated and allowed him just to come back into it. But that's what I want to see a little bit more advanced and a little bit more positive in his play.
3 minutes gone at Molineux. Wolves 0, Villa 0. There's Jean Martinho. There's the ball back to Marçal on the left-hand side. Looking in field, and we'll play it backwards to Romain Saiz. In for Willy Bolly.
Yeah, so look, it's not been involved for a while, and then all of a sudden coming straight into the side for Bolly. Just shows you the faith that he's got in him.
Yeah, big call to take Willy Bolly out of the starting lineup. 2 players more than comfortable enough to play it out from the back. It's Bertrand Traore passes it straight to Marçal, who looks to work it down the line for Pedro Neto to chase. Concert coming across, just getting there in front of the young Portuguese, but being forced back towards his own corner flag. Support for Matty Cash, but Fabio Silva was closing in to put pressure on. Concert has sliced his clearance into his own penalty area, and Douglas Luiz had to nod it down to his keeper.
Oh, I just thought Potenza was just going to get the ball there. Concert being a bit brave there, flicking it up and trying to volley it out, but ended up slicing it.
There is Watkins on halfway for Villa, midway between the touchline and the left touchline in the centre circle. Douglas Luiz looked like he'd had his pocket picked by João Moutinho, but Mike Dean didn't like it.
Well, that's what I thought straight away. I thought that he just got the better of him, Moutinho there. Oh, I don't think, I'm just watching it again. I don't think there's much in it. His touch just let him down, Luiz. Give Moutinho a little bit of a bite at it.
Concert falls to Traore, who gets it back from Matty Cash. Backwards into his own half to Tyrone Mings. The left-hand side to Target, trying to feed it down the line for the run of John McGinn. Dendoncker was tracking, got a touch to the ball, but at the expense of a corner to Villa. 5 minutes played so far.
Yeah, so they'll send the lads up from the back, Mings and Concert. So Grealish, good delivery. So just need to be aware of those 2 mainly. You've got Watkins in there as well.
It'll be Grealish to take the corner, right-footed from the left-hand side, where the North Bank meets the Billy Wright stand where we are. Both arms in the air from Grealish. Wolves have got everybody back defending as the ball swings in to the far post. Dendoncker got a flick to it, and he'll go out of play for a throw by the corner flag on the right-hand side.
Yeah, it's good ball in, wasn't it, from Grealish? Sell up pace and whip on it as well. Into a good area. So, but Wolves defended it pretty well. Just got ahead to it.
There is Ramsey, young midfielder, been tracked by Moutinho all the way to the corner flag. Tried to dig a cross out, blocked by Marçal and out of play for another throw. The Villa get on with things quickly. Cash with a cross in low, cleared away by Saiss at the near post. A big clearance. All bouncing into the steep ball lower on the far side. Wolves nil, Aston Villa nil. There's Marçal putting pressure on Bertrand Traore, and Wolves will get the benefit of the goal kick.
Good defending from Marçal there. Just put enough pressure on him where Traore just miscontrolled it. But you can kind of see the way that Villa want to play, getting players down the sides, just trying to play that ball into the space, just trying to push them back. Runners coming from midfield areas.
Rui Patricio waiting to take his kick. Launched to the right-hand side and halfway towards Traore, who got something on it, challenging with Douglas Luiz. McGinn playing it backwards. Tyrone Mings. All the way back to Emi Martinez. Concert for Cash. Back to Concert again. Tyrone Mings now looking to hit a long one again for the runner, John McGinn, who lost it for a second out of the low sunshine. Has it on his left foot, low cross in, and Saiss is there on the edge of the 6-yard box. Has to turn it behind for a corner again to Villa, though, and the away side are just growing into it a little bit more.
Yeah, they are, and there's that ball again, isn't it, from Mings? John McGinn breaking from that central position in midfield and going down that wide area.
Corner taken short. This is Grealish on his right foot from the left-hand side. Back to McGinn, wide for Bertrand Traore. And the line for Grealish, reverses it again to Bertrand Traore, but Semedo was well positioned to clear the ball away first time to the halfway line.
Yeah, so Wolves are going to have to try and get hold of this ball. As you touched on there, so Villa are definitely growing in confidence.
Watkins on the right-hand side for Villa. Ramsey was making a run on the overlap. It goes infield to Bertrand Traore. He goes wide to Ramsey. Infield to Bertrand Traore again. A little 1-2. All backwards to Concert. Out wide for Cash, who sets himself to try and whip a dangerous cross in. Cody well positioned to head the ball away. Marcel got a touch on it, and it will be another Villa throw midway inside the Wolves half.
Yeah, so they've put some good pressure on the Villa early stages. Just getting some good areas. So Wolves are hanging or defending really well at the moment, but like I said, they need to be careful.
Very much so, as Mings has the ball again for Villa. Grealish under pressure from Semedo. Was that almost better than anyone, Jack Grealish?
Well, he's on his way.
Kicks.
I think he's on his way down there before he's even come near him, the player.
But Ent's tracking back and winning the ball deep inside his own half and showing neat footwork to turn away from Traore and now lift it to the right side to Semedo. Out to Pedro Neto on the Wolves' right, midway inside the Villa half. Grealish has tracked back with him. Semedo had run on the overlap. It goes backwards to Matinho. Across the centre circle for Saiz. Out to Marçal on the left-hand side. A little bit of space in front of the Brazilian. Sets himself, whips a dangerous cross in, and Emi Martinez just got there in front of Fabio Silva.
Yeah, great ball in, wasn't it, from Marcel? So a good play again down that left-hand side. It's a great ball in. He's just got to try and just get across the keeper there. So the keeper's just probably shouted for the ball, can't from here, but just needs to be better in there. Just get across him.
Traore battling on halfway, winning the ball back from John McGinn. Matinho, though, lost it, but McGinn flying in. Mike Dean penalises him.
Yeah, McGinn's not very happy, but there's been a few fouls already where the Villa players have wanted it. We just in strength there, Traore. Yeah, he's just gone slightly through the back of him, hasn't he? He's not happy though, McGinn.
Here is Romain Saiz for Wolves. Looking to hit a diagonal ball to the right-hand side in the direction of Traore. Target got his head to it. Trying to lift it towards halfway. Matinho and Grealish challenged, and Matinho got the touch, although it's been given as a Wolves throw. And Mike Dean is overruling.
Well, I thought that he might have just given a foul there on Matinho from Grealish, because I thought Matinho's just headed it and Grealish has still come through and jumped into him.
Yeah, it does seem to nudge him, doesn't it?
Yeah, I was going to say, he's won the header clearly, Matinho.
There's Ramsey. Target, trying to play it in behind for the run of John McGinn. Saiz is tracking, and Saiz just showing enough strength and determination to make sure that ball was his. Cody supporting Semedo for the clearance. Neto putting pressure on Mings. And a little good foot in. And Fabio Silva trying to release Pedro Neto. Down the right-hand side here for Wolves. Low one in towards Podence, and Emi Martinez gets there first.
I'll tell you what, I think
this might be a penalty, you know.
I think it's a penalty.
Well, they're going to pull this back and check. There's a couple of incidents going on. Pedro Neto was caught late. They might pull it back for Daniel Podence, who I think collided off the ball in the build-up to everything as well.
Yeah, I think as he just caught his heels. So he's onside there, but I thought that he just caught Neto here. I think it's going to be pulled up for Podence, I think. It looks a foul on Neto, doesn't he?
There's a couple of things going on here. It's outside the penalty area for Neto anyway, so it won't be a penalty.
Yeah.
And I think they're just going to give it for a free kick for the challenge by Podence on Emi Martinez. There was all sorts of stuff going on there. Podence looked like he just accidentally clipped the heels of Matt Cash as they were running back towards goal.
I'm surprised he hasn't come back, because the Neto incident was the first one, wasn't it, beforehand? Thought Conser just caught him.
It was certainly late, Ezri Konsa, as he slid in on Pedro Neto. Emi Martinez just getting a bit of treatment in his penalty area. There's all sorts of stuff happening there.
As he give the free kick on Podence, just catching the heels, is he?
I think they'll just...
Yeah,
he is.
I think, yeah.
Which is a little bit harsh. I'm not sure there was any real intent. It was just two players running back. Cash was running across Podence, who was trying to change his line and go the other way. "13 minutes played at Molineux. An energetic start, despite the fact there haven't really been any clear-cut chances. Traore battling away with Target. He did brilliantly to work it to Neto, and then Fabio Silva
And that's going to be
caught by
booked in.
Douglas Luiz, and that's a yellow card.
Yeah, he knew what he's doing. He's holding his hands out and saying that he didn't do anything, but he saw Fabio Silva running away from him, and he's just clipped his heels. Yeah, he's just got hold of him a little bit, hasn't he?
Also get the free kick.
But you're watching it time and time again, and you that ball down the sides against Wolves. They're trying to exploit that space, and that's where they just need to be careful about it. So like, they're hitting it very early from the back.
Marçal forwards down the left-hand channel. Fabio Silva pulling wide, trying to hold off the challenge of Conser. Pedence infield towards Neto, cleared away by Mings as far as Bertrand Traore. Wolves have been interchanging, really. Pedence has gone wide left now, and Neto is up as almost the most advanced man. He'll just drop back in, and Fabio Silva will move ahead of him.
Yeah, that's where they've got to be careful with Villa's three in the middle. There you go, there's that ball again.
Early one up towards Watkins, who's pulled out to the right-hand side. Infield, short pass to Bertrand Traore. Backwards for Douglas Luiz, to his right-hand side to Ramsey. Wide for Cash. Infield to Douglas Luiz, closed down by Matinho. Ball goes wide again. Ramsey backwards to Concert. Most of the play inside the Wolves half as Ramsey with Matinho snapping away at him. The youngster, 19-year-old, holding him off and playing it through the centre circle to Mings. The left-hand side to Target. Down the line for Grealish on the touchline. Back to Target, just over halfway. Into the Villa half to Mings. We'll look to play it to Concert. Douglas Luiz, Bertrand Traore. Douglas Luiz holding off Neto and now looking to switch it to the left-hand side to Grealish. Grealish up against Adama Traore. Trying to find the feet of Douglas Luiz, and a free kick given for a late challenge on Grealish, where Douglas Luiz is asking the question as to whether the challenge on him is worthy of a penalty. I'm not sure either was a foul, if I'm truthfully honest.
No, I'm just watching you say, we all know about the antics, what happens around about Grealish. And anyway, it wouldn't have been a penalty because it would have been the first incident. What would the free kick? What is given?
Just looked a little bit like Grealish played the ball and then jumped into Adama Traore.
Yeah, you know, he does it, as you mentioned before, he does it well, doesn't he?
That might be our element of bias coming out in that, but never mind.
Well, you're a man of stats. And if you look at his stats about how many fouls get put against him, I think he's nearly double of anybody else already.
VAR did check for a penalty, and the decision was no penalty.
Well, it can't be a penalty if he's given a free kick for the initial pass from Grealish, surely.
I think Cody gets a toe on the ball anyway.
Yeah.
But Bertrand Traore and Jack Grealish are stood over the ball. It's a yard or two from the left-hand corner of the box as you look towards Rui Patricio's goal. Pedence and Neto are a two-man wall.
I think he'll be shooting out.
Bertrand Traore left-footed, crossing into the danger zone, and it comes through to Ramsey, who tries to put it back through into the 6-yard box. Villa are appealing. Wolves have managed to work the ball clear. Traore under pressure from Pedro Neto. Wanted a free kick there. And Mike Dean, close enough to it, shook his head.
Yeah, so he's straight away just shaking his head as soon as anybody's appealing for it.
Target, Bertrand Traore. McGinn to Grealish. Good tackle, though, by Dendoncker. Trying to play an early one towards Fabio Silva, who was wide left, and Cash got a foot in and it'll go all the way through. This is Saiz infield to Cody. Opening period of the game, Villa have had 70% of the possession. Neither side with an effort on goal just yet.
No. Well, they have started well, Villa, unfortunately.
There's Matinho. Across the centre circle for Cody. Semedo setting off. Cody's found him with a lovely pass. Here's Traore. Up against Grealish. Trying to go past him on the outside and going around the outside of Target as well. Hangs his cross up to the far post. Pedence tried to get something on it. Douglas Luiz cleared it as far as Matinho. Trying to find Neto. And forced backwards to Connor Cody as Wolves look to try and rebuild and reform. Semedo on the right-hand side, infield to Dendoncker, wide to Traore, up against Target. Traore now with 2 for company as Grealish joins. Traore trying to get the cross in, Target blocked it, Wolves corner.
Yeah, so look, you can see already they're doubling up. Grealish is having to come back and help Target. Didn't really have enough space and room there to actually get anything. Just showing that incident again where Connor Cody's just got his head to it from the initial free kick. No.
Well, it does hit the arm.
It does hit the arm, but he says his arm's down by his side. He hasn't lifted his arm, has he, towards the ball.
He's trying to get his arm out the way.
Yeah. And they say it's down by his side, isn't it? So, right decision.
Martinho with a corner, right-footed from the right-hand side in front of the South Bank. Villa have everybody back defending. Martinho whips to the near post, headed away by Target, straight back to Martinho, controlled on the chest and hanging the cross in towards Fabio Silva, who got something on it. Final touch was off a Villa head. It's another Wolves corner.
Yes, Con's a good ball in. Well, the initial set play a little bit short, but come back out to him.
They're changing here. Neto's going to take this left-footed from the right-hand side. Martinho still with him for company. Played short to João Martinho. Now backwards to Traore. One touch, now lifting his cross into the danger zone. Mings with the header away. Bertrand Traore tried to chest it down, but he went backwards. Target puts his foot through it and hoofs it clear. Out of play for a Wolves throw by the halfway line.
Yeah, it's got a little spell here from Wolves. So they're putting a little bit of pressure on Villa. Again, the deliveries have been good into there, and they need to be because they've got 2 big centre-halves there. I think the movement's going to be the thing that's going to cause them the problem, trying to get across those centre-halves.
Adama Traore back to Semedo, to Cody. Semedo fizzed it at him, and Cody was closed down quickly. Villa winning possession back. Ramsey heading to the right-hand side for Villa, to Cash, midway inside the Wolves half, looking to cross early and from deep. Saiz stretched out his long left leg and managed to hook the ball away for a throw.
Yeah, it's great clearance, wasn't it? So it took a slight deflection. I thought it might have just knocked it a little bit past him, but you can see what Villa are doing. Trying to hit the balls very early, trying to just get Wolves on the back foot a little bit and take them by surprise. At the moment, they've done pretty well in this first 20 minutes, but they just need to be switched on all the time.
21 minutes played. Wolves nil, Villa nil. As Tyrone Mings launches it forwards in direction of Watkins, who for a moment had the better of Saiz, but Saiz recovers to get the ball back. Turns and clears up towards halfway. On a play for a Villa throw, though. David Rolls says, I must be a Wolves supporter. 4.5 hours of sleep. Drizzly cold day, and I'm here for a 2-0 Wolves win, he says. Christina has gone for 2-1 Wolves. Lucky scarf is on in a snowy Wisconsin. Bertrand Traore missed the ball. Martinho finding Dendoncker. Back to the edge of the Wolves penalty area for Cody. Rob in a dark and -9 degrees Calgary.
Oh.
Says the only thing to make that better is a win. Interested to see how this 11 gels. Loves the Raoul banner as well. Tomo frustrated by another soft free kick going Villa's way on the halfway line.
I don't understand what the free kick's been given for. He's just standing his ground, Fabio Silva. I know he never jumped for it, but he didn't really nudge into Konsa.
Konsa with the long ball forwards in the direction of Grealish, who challenged with Semedo. Ball will drop for the Villa captain. Forced out wide, little back heel for McGinn. Low one into Target in the penalty area. Cross took a bit of a deflection, coming through to Ramsey, who hooks it goalwards, but a long way wide of the right-hand post of Rui Patricio.
Yeah, I think Neto just did enough, didn't he, on Ramsey? I think that he just put him off because he thought that he just sat up nice for him just to volley it back in, but Neto just coming across, just distracted him.
Adama Traore just a little bit late there, wasn't he, in spotting that Target had run past him. And the build-up to it. Rich and Lisa watching. It's going to be 2-0 with Fabio on the score sheet. Brian's gone 3-1 Wolves. Fabio to get off the mark. Luke has gone 1-0. Semedo to bury home a cracker from outside the box. Love that prediction. Tyler 3-1. Come on, Wolves. David 2-1 to Wolves. A lot of confidence amongst the fan base.
Let's push.
Semedo trying to loop it forwards. Target's header away. Dendoncker. Sun is very low, breaking through the corner. of the South Bank and the Billy Wright stand, causing a few issues. Patricio launching it towards Fabio Silva. Mings won it in the air. Flick forwards. Cody nodding down. Martinho with an awkward one back for Cody. Watkins is going to put real pressure on. Mid two halfway. Target's header forwards. Semedo and Dendoncker both went for it, both missed it, and Grealish has ended up on the floor. And Villa get a free kick.
Yeah, so both I think the Wolves lads getting in each other's way a little bit there rather than. Oh, I'm just watching that.
Dendoncker just landed on the foot of Jack Grealish. That's why he's down and in a bit of pain.
Well, I'm sorry, but I don't think Dendoncker can fly, can he? And just hover over him. So look.
Well, no, but he caught him that time.
No, he's caught him, but he's like, where does he expect him to put his foot? He's going to have to try and land at some stage.
I don't have a huge amount of issue with that one, to be honest with you, Tomo. I will join you on some of the others.
Oh, no.
Grealish is up and okay without any treatment. Will be sore on top of the boot. He'll leave the free kick taking to Bertrand Traore.
Yeah, I'm not disputing that it's going to be painful on that, but my point was that he didn't know where he was coming down and where his foot was at the time.
Traore with the free kick. Wolves trying to defend from just outside the penalty area. Dropping back now. Header away. Dendoncker. Douglas Luiz putting it back into the danger zone. Dendoncker with another header. Neto for Fabio Silva, who's played a lovely lifted pass to get Daniel Pedence away. Neto racing up on the outside. Pedence hesitated to play the pass and instead trying to switch it to Fabio Silva.
I think that's the wrong option for me. I think he's got to play it down to Neto down here.
Pedence looks to have won it back though in a dangerous position, and McGinn trying to wrap his foot round him to win the possession. Ends up giving Wolves a free kick in a pretty dangerous position.
Yeah, he did well there, Pedence. Sellecker winning it back from McGinn because he's a strong boy on the ball, but you can see that he's clearly felled him. Not to the approval of McGinn, but
a lovely under Dendoncker there, trying to point to Mike Dean for the free kick to be 5 yards further forwards than it was.
You've got to try these things.
We did a big match revisited in the summer on the Cardiff game, and Barry Douglas told the story that they had a free kick moments before Ruben Neves' match winner. And Barry Douglas complained so much to Mike Dean that he didn't count a full 10 yards, that he reckoned he counted 11 for the moment where Neves scores against Cardiff. That's the question.
Yep.
Neto and Martinho stood over the ball. Can either of these ask a question of Emi Martinez? Martinho flicks it back. Neto to strike it. Couple of deflections and Villa clear from the edge of the area. Bertrand Traore almost kicked it into his own face, and then Dendoncker.
I think he missed it and it bounced into his face, I think.
A slightly comical moment.
So it wouldn't be nice if it happened to either of us, but
not seen that kind of play since the mid-90s here at Molineux.
Who played in that era?
It's Connor Cody's long ball. Cash letting it bounce with Traore chasing him back towards his own corner flag. Villa fullback lifts it to halfway. Saiz beats Watkins in the air, but it'll be a Villa throw. 27 minutes played at Molineux. Wolves 0, Villa 0. Got one listener all the way in Baghdad, having swapped it for a far too cold Kabul. Wolves 2-1 is the prediction. Great to have you with us wherever you are around the world. Martinho was challenging. Traore got a foot in. McGinn was a little bit late on Semedo, but Cody forwards. Pedence clattered into by Target. It'll be a Wolves throw.
Yeah, here's a question for you then. What's the difference between him clattering into him there than the one which Jack Grealish got the free kick from?
Not a huge amount.
No.
Has to be said. I'll back you on that one.
Well, thank you.
Semedo throw on halfway. On the Wolves' right-hand side. Traore down the line. Pedence in field. Semedo still taking his time. Ball goes short to Pedence. Back to Semedo. To Cody. Semedo in field to Saiz. Had a bit more time than he realised because Traore had stopped closing in on him. Went back to Patricio, who finds Cody. Martinho wanted it, but McGinn spotted a potential move and closed in quickly. This is Saiz lifting it towards Fabio Silva. Neto was brought down off the ball.
Cash, yeah, it's going to be a booking for him as well. He's just got the better of Cash there. I think Neto, he was off. And
Second Villa man into the notebook.
Yeah, so he's grabbed hold of him, hasn't he? And he's got, what have I done? He's got hold of his shirt. That's what you've done. So I'll tell you what, if Fabio Silva had got a head to it and Neto was away from Cash.
Consa kicked the ball back there and Gian Martino just brought it down with a delicious piece of control.
Yeah, doesn't surprise me. Doesn't surprise me with the quality.
Here he is on halfway, Martino. Backwards to Connor Cody, just to the right of the centre circle. Looking to play a high diagonal towards Traore. Target heading the ball out of play for a Wolves throw. Pedence will leave it for Semedo.
I wonder if Target slept last night, because I think that both times that he's played against Traore, I think he's gone off with a hamstring, hasn't he?
11 minutes in the game at Villa Park last year, 48 minutes
again,
here.
Another booking.
And a yellow card being shown. John McGinn this time. As Pedence turned him. It's just the angle of the body as well, isn't it, that goes in on the challenge.
Yeah, I was going through him.
Crunches into Pedence.
Yeah. His momentum's took him into him. And said, well, Pedence has stayed down. He hasn't got up.
He's got it up now. So it's what McGinn had already done one to Martino early in the game. So there might be an element of an accumulation of a couple of strong challenges that Mike Dean didn't like.
Yeah.
3 Villa players on yellow cards now.
I was going to say, I was just looking at Dean Smith on the screen here. He's not happy at all.
Neto and Martino stood over the ball, 40 yards from goal, a couple of yards in from the right-hand touchline. Neto touches it for Martino, who can dribble it forwards and then find Traore out wide. Traore, low cross into the near post, headed away by Target. Grealish with time to let it set and then hoof it to the halfway line. Marcel nodding back to Semedo. Watkins putting pressure on, so he'll go back to Patricio. It's an interesting little thing they clearly worked on, that little touch of the free kick that just allowed Martino to start dribbling with it.
Yeah.
There's Bertrand Traore at the other end up against Cody. Cody, good strength. Saved a corner, but at the expense of a throw.
Yeah, he read it well there, didn't he? He read it well. Connor Cody.
Grealish didn't like Semedo running away with the ball. Chasing after him. Here is Grealish. McGinn. Up against Semedo, being forced wide. John McGinn trying to hold off and use Target. Falls to Grealish in the penalty area. Jack Grealish fizzed it through. Might have been a deflection on it.
I think it's a great block from Connor Cody. I think if you have a look on the replay, I think Connor Cody's just stepped across him.
There's a throw on the far side for Villa.
Yeah.
There was an all-important touch.
Yeah, it was a good block from Cody.
Momentum maybe swinging back towards Villa after a good spell from Wolves. Possession is up to 46-54. Potential long throw coming in from the right-hand side.
Just watching McGreed. Grealish is sparing.
Ings and Consa are forwards, and Consa got something on it. Patricio with an exaggerated dive as it went past his left-hand post.
Yeah, I'm just seeing that. I'm just on that set play though. Grealish is on his own, spare. And that can't be a good thing. Wolves just letting him go there.
We have played 32 minutes at Molineux. Only one effort on goal from either team so far. Traore winning the header on the halfway line. Adama Traore, that is. Tried to flick it forwards for Pedence. Douglas Luiz went challenging in on him. Martino collided with Ramsey. Referee was happy enough with it, and Cody has switched the play to Neto on the left-hand side for Wolves. Back to halfway to Marcel. Martino to Marcel again. Had to go back to Patricio as Watkins was closing in on Saiz. It is somewhat the issue with going to 4 at the back rather than the 3/5 that Wolves are unable to play out as much as they normally would do.
No, and the thing is, what you've got is as well, Watkins is somebody who will chase everything down. He's putting pressure on them, trying to make them hurry up with with the passing. They haven't got the luxury of taking the time.
Just a little bit more susceptible, aren't they, to the press at times. Well, referee wants to have a word with Jack Grealish here for a few things. I think John McGinn has been too much in his ear.
Yeah, so he's been booked already, hasn't he, McGinn?
Maybe a warning and a moment to calm down a bit.
Let him carry on.
Cash with a throw down the line, down the Villa right. Marçal will pick up on the ball. Fabio Silva with a nice touch off to Pedence. Adama Traore, Semedo is racing up outside of him. Here is Nelson Semedo up against Target. Couldn't quite force his way through. Target and Grealish got in each other's way. Grealish then takes a tumble in the penalty area and Villa get a free kick. Well, we know your views on it. Grealish knew Semedo was coming, waited for a little touch and went over and got his team a free kick and a chance to clear their lines. 35 minutes played. Has the feeling of a bit of an old school derby.
It has. So there's not much in it with the two teams. I know Villa started off with a lot of possession. So, but I think Wolves will give as good as they've got off Villa. So they've looked dangerous in some certain areas. Just need to be a little bit more positive in that top third for me. Just Traore, can we get Traore a little bit more on the ball and Neto out on the wide areas?
Yeah, seen some decent crosses in.
Yeah.
Certainly early on towards Fabio Silva. He's had some nice touches so far in the game.
Yeah, he's done all right. He's done okay. So it's going to be a tough test for him against the two lads of Villa. They're experienced boys at the back. But again, so he's learning.
Concert for Cash, under pressure from Neto, back to Concert. Pedence was closing in. There's Mings to try and run it through his own half, up towards halfway. McGinn was blocked by Dendoncker earlier towards Pedence, who flicked it the wrong way. He went left when Fabio Silva had made a great run to his right.
Yeah, he just needs to come this side, hasn't he?
Semedo winning in the air ahead of Watkins. Grealish jumping higher than Moutinho. Ramsey. Moutinho snapping away at him. Good foot in by João Moutinho. And he's released Pedro Neto as well. And Wolves have numbers forwards as Neto drives into the penalty area, trying to cut back infield. Pulls back to Pedence to strike here. Deflection and behind for a corner.
Yes. Yeah, great play from Moutinho, wasn't it? So like battling in there, just winning that ball. Just looking at that little toe to Neto. Did well, Neto. So two Villa players coming towards him. Just dragged it back, picked out Pedence. Didn't catch it as sweet as he probably wanted to, but just got the deflection off. I think it was Mings in the end. Yeah, just come off the back end of Mings. It was on target by the look of it.
Yeah, it would have asked the question of Emi Martinez, wouldn't it?
Didn't catch it as much as he wanted, though. But again, so it's a good attack, counter-attack from Wolves.
Moutinho with a corner, right-footed from the right-hand side. 37 minutes gone at Molineux. Can he pick out a gold shirt? Moutinho striking high to the far post. Dendoncker was trying to climb. Oh, then an awkward clearance again from Villa, sending it right back towards the right-hand corner flag. Douglas Luiz under pressure from Fabio Silva. And he needs some help from his teammates here. He's just trying to shield the ball, flicks it up, tries to hook it forwards. It's going to drop here to Pedence for Wolves. Pedence with a nice touch. Nice strike. What a good save by Martinez, low to his left-hand side. Grabs the ball at the second attempt. Superb work by Pedence to shift it onto his right foot.
It was good, wasn't it? That's for me as well, though. We're watching Neto and Traore, just standing watching. Have a gamble, get in there. Expect the keeper to save it. Because it's just a tap-in for somebody if it comes off them. But good play from Pedence.
That full stretch, Emi Martinez. Best chance of the game so far for either side, you would say. We have 7 minutes until half-time. Tyrone Mings in possession for Villa. Backwards to Target. He was under pressure from Pedence. Had to go to Martinez on the edge of the penalty area. Puts his foot through it and clears. Semedo with a free header back over the halfway line. Mings with time to collect the ball and play it short to Douglas Luiz, who had Fabio Silva at his back. Mings forwards to McGinn. Wide for Target. Blocked by Adama Traore. Fabio Silva getting his body in the way and winning possession again. Ball's going to rebound here to Adama Traore. Dendoncker trying to work his way infield as Traore on a bit of a charge here. Into the penalty area goes Adama Traore. Lifts his cross and it was just behind Dendoncker and cleared. Martinho with a very clever header down to Semedo. Wolves building up some momentum ahead of steam. Adama Traore on the right-hand side. Two with him again. Pulled backwards to Martinho. Trying to switch the play towards Neto. Marçal racing up on the outside of him. Marçal playing it backwards to Pedro Neto. Has support from Romain Saiz. Cody. Brilliant pass out to Traore. Traore away from one challenge. Grealish then clattered into him. Traore stayed down. Nuno's asking the question as Watkins skips away from two challenges. Cody tried to pull him down as Watkins continues running down the left-hand side. Cody still with him. Watkins having to check back now and get support from Grealish. Up against Semedo. Jack Grealish. Semedo did enough. Ball comes backwards to McGinn, who strikes it, blocked by Cody. And now Podence trying to run it forwards. Traore is trying to rejoin the action as Podence comes driving forwards. Now to Adama Traore, up towards the edge of the penalty area. Traore trying to lay it off here for Dendoncker. What a good strike. The follow-up again, though. Dendoncker couldn't quite reach it. Wolves asking a question as it comes wide to Neto. Dendoncker is still down in the penalty area. Neto trying to go into the box. Back onto his right foot, lifts his cross to the edge of the area. Grealish down, but struck by Podence and it goes through. It took a deflection. It'll be a Wolves corner. What a passage of play.
Yeah, it's been good, isn't it? They put a lot of pressure. I wonder if there's going to be a VAR check on the Dendoncker challenge.
Brilliant first effort.
Oh, no. Nah, there's nothing wrong with it. Was it just looking at that?
Dendoncker left-footed. Emi Martinez, it was pretty much straight at him. He parried it down, though, and it gave the Belgians some hope. Mings got there first.
Yeah, so there's nothing wrong with it, was that? But it's a good spell of pressure from Wolves here.
And a Grealish mistake almost allowed Podence in.
Yeah.
It's Neto's corner, left-footed from the left-hand side, whipped in towards Saiz. One in the air, though, by Ramsey. Martinho. Wide to Neto, one touch to set himself, couple of step overs on his right foot, hangs his cross to the far post. Fabio Silva's looping header back into the danger zone. Cody goalwards, but one bounce and a comfortable take for the Villa keeper.
Yeah, he couldn't just generate any power, could he, Connor Cody? It's a good leap from him. Well, it's a good spell. It's a good spell. So Martinez, so a couple of good saves. Just to think that, just have a gamble, just have a couple of rebounds you could have had already.
Martinez launching it forwards. Semedo wins in the air ahead of Grealish. Dendoncker heading it on towards halfway. Fabio Silva wins it from Douglas Luiz and turns and looks to drive forwards. And Adama Traore trying to run in behind.
Yeah.
Emi Martinez was out quickly and they'll pull it back for a foul on Fabio Silva in the build-up.
Yeah, well done, ref. Did really well done, Fabio Silva.
Adama Traore is so quick. He nearly made the most of that pass.
He did. So, well, if it wasn't for the starting position of Martinez, so he was onto it. Because he left the back line. And so I've said before about just putting the ball into the space for him to run onto. Sometimes just mix it up rather than everything to his feet.
Interesting, there was no yellow card there for Ramsey, who had both arms on Fabio Silva. McGinn has robbed it from Adama Traore, and Traore late, and Traore's going to get a yellow card. And now Grealish getting involved and squaring up to Dendoncker. McGinn trying to play peacemaker. Tempers are flaring. And a yellow card to Adama Traore. And Traore just had McGinn steal the ball and he tried to get his foot back to it.
Well, the free kick was on there.
Grealish got involved and Dendoncker didn't like it. No love lost.
No.
Still 0-0. Last couple of minutes of the first half. Bertrand Traore into the penalty area. Left-hand side of it, Semedo did brilliantly to get back and get a touch to the ball. Having initially gone over his head to allow Traore in behind. The recovery was there for the Portuguese fullback.
Yeah, that ball's something that Villa have used quite a lot in this first half. Ball down the side, just over the top, or down the side of the fullback.
Grealish with a corner, right-footed from the left-hand side for Villa. Going to lift it into the danger zone. Semedo's header away at the near post. Target back in. Mings is going to play the ball into the net, but he was miles offside.
Yeah.
And
good line. Good line again. Marshall by Conor Cody, just pushing up.
I don't know why we're having a check on that. That was clearest offside you could ever wish to see. He was pretty much stood next to Rui Patricio when the ball went back in.
Yeah.
Last minute of the 45. Possession, having been 70-30 in Villa's favour early on, is back to 50-50. Wolves with more efforts on goal, 6-4. As Saiz puts one forwards. Tyrone Mings nodding down. Target trying to get Grealish away. Semedo's touch though, presented the ball to Grealish, who looks to run past him on the outside, and into the penalty area goes Grealish, closed off by Cody, and it will be a Villa corner. And the scream was for the collision on Cody on the edge of the 6-yard box.
Well, I'm just saying, I think he's gone straight into Conor Cody there.
Grealish on the charge. I think he catches Cody, but then also so does Semedo following through. Grealish was actually appealing for a penalty there. 3 minutes is going to be added on. Wolves on the defensive. Trying to at least see out the half. Grealish once more with the ball at his feet. Looking to try and hang it high to the edge of the penalty area for Douglas Luiz on the left foot. Rather slice his attempted volley. Comes wide to McGinn, who steps in field, low cross. Little deflection off Cody. Comes out to Douglas Luiz. Whips it back wide to Grealish. Up against Semedo again. Semedo got a foot to the ball, and Grealish will see it behind for another corner. And yet more defending for Wolves to do at the end of the half.
Yeah. So look, a little bit of pressure put on from Villa. But say it's been quite evenly matched, isn't it, this first half? Wolves have had some great opportunities.
Grealish once more. Villa's fourth corner of the half. Going to whip it low to the near post this time. Semedo got a clearance, and Neto first to it. Wide to the left-hand side to Marçal. Not a lot of support on that side. He turned in field and won a clever free kick. Get Wolves up and running.
Well, I'll tell you what, he did really well, didn't he? Because he have nowhere to go. There's nobody out there to help him. So he got himself out of it.
Here's Dendoncker inside his own half. Backwards to Cody. He'll be tracked all the way by Watkins to Patricio.
Works hard, doesn't he, Watkins?
Absolutely.
So he didn't give anybody a free ride as such.
Ramsey intercepted the clearance. Douglas Luiz to Grealish, central position of Wolves half, driving towards the edge of the penalty area. Now to McGinn, low cross, blocked off by Cody. He will put his foot through it to clear, and Fabio Silva to put pressure on Tyrone Mings. Here's Pedence. Traore up against Concert. Traore using his body to shield the ball and was pulled back by Ezri Concert, and Wolves get the free kick.
It's good play. Good play from him. Again, Salah, not many options, not much support going up there, but he did really well, Traore. Just keep moving the ball. He's got both arms around him, Concert. Yeah.
Into the final 20 seconds of the time being added on. João Moutinho will use up plenty of it as he places the ball 5 yards in from the right-hand touchline, just ahead of being midway inside the Villa half. Villa's defensive line just inside their penalty area. Saiz, Fabio Silva, Dendoncker, Cody, Neto and Pedence all in around them. As Moutinho delivers in, Fabio Silva got his head to it and it just drifts wide of the far post.
And Conor Cody coming in on that far post as well, wasn't it? Just a fraction away from him. Little skip after it because he's just a fraction in front of him. Oh, yeah.
And that is the final action of the first half. Fascinating derby day so far. Plenty of tough challenges, plenty of players going into the referee's notebook through yellow cards, plenty of complaining towards Mike Dean from some of the Villa players as they head off towards the end. Villa had most of the ball early on. Wolves then came back into it strongly. Some decent opportunities. Emi Martinez with the best saves of the game to deny Daniel Podence and also Leander Dendoncker. This is absolutely fascinating.
Yeah, it is. So look, it's say Villa started off very strong, didn't they? So look, put a lot of pressure on Wolves and advancing up the pitch as well. But Wolves come into it and had probably the best. Well, they have had the best chances of the game. A couple of shots. Podence having a good one as well. But look, I think they'll be pretty happy with the way things have gone in these derby games. You never know what's going to happen. But Wolves finished the half pretty strongly and definitely got themselves back into the game.
Wolves bench are not very happy here that the Villa bench are walking up the stairs with the referees being able to continue to be in their ear. It's an interesting situation. It's testy out there. It's feisty. It's a derby.
We like it.
At the minute, it's Wolves 0, Villa 0. We'll take a short break and then we'll get more from Tomo and the thoughts of Carl Ikeme and Chris Iwelumo on Matchday Live Extra. Don't go anywhere.
Matchday Live on Wolves TV. Listen for free online at wolves.co.uk or on the move anywhere in the world via the Wolves app.
The Old Goal Club has a new series, My Golden Game. Speaking to former and current players, coaches, managers and fans of the matches that meant the most to them.
It's a club who I have in my heart, and I always keep following it.
I'd been back to Molineux on a few occasions, and I'd never got a good reception, and that hurt me a little bit. Not that I thought I deserved better, but maybe because of those two games against West Brom, where I scored 4 goals in 2 appearances.
Check out the series so far, featuring the likes of Julian Lescott, Kevin Doyle, Neil Emblem and Dennis Irwin.
I was absolutely delighted when they came in from League One, and even more so when after having a tough first 4 or 5 months that we were on a bit of a roll and ended up playing in this fantastic game.
Old Goal Club, My Golden Game, available now.
Wolves TV, the home of live uninterrupted radio commentary of every single Wolves game.
Jimenez! Oh, you beauty!
But that's not all. Wolves TV also brings you extended and alternative match highlights, interviews with the team, behind-the-scenes features and training coverage, plus see every goal Wolves score from every angle.
Jota on the volley, oh, what a goal! That is simply stunning!
So check out Wolves TV online at wolves.co.uk or on the move via the Wolves app. Matchday Live on Wolves TV. Listen for free online at wolves.co.uk or on the move anywhere in the world via the Wolves app.
Half time here at Molineux then on Derby Day in the West Midlands. Wolves 0, Aston Villa 0. Chris Iwelumo, do you enjoy that first half?
Yeah, I thought it was not bad. You know, I thought we were second best at the start. I thought that 3 in the middle, as we all kind of spoke about, was getting the better of us. But we kind of fought our way back into the match. You know, I think Podence and Neto again are great outlets for us. I think Fabio Silva, I think he's done well. You know, I think link up. I think he's not really gave the ball away. I think he's lost two duels. He's lost possession twice, but again on the ball he's getting better. I just want him to be more of a threat. You know, I think there's been some great deliveries coming in the box. If it's from Neto, if it's from Traore, and I just think we need to have someone on the end of it, even if it's Dendoncker breaking his neck, to get in there. I think there's been opportunities that we can definitely capitalise on. We finished the half the stronger. We had chances, and that's so important that we have to put one of them. I thought the Podence shot from distance just outside the box was a great shot, and it was a fantastic save. But I could see his disappointment because he had a little bit more time, that he could have probably a little bit more accuracy on where he wants it to go, a little bit further away. Because you can speak to Keames, I think, as a goalkeeper, it was a good save, but I think it's a little bit half a yard to the keeper's left. I don't think he's getting near that, and I just think Podence has that quality. I think the Dendonka one that Traore's slipped across, it was a good height for a goalkeeper. If that's bottom corner either side, that's a goal. That's in the back of the net.
Well, let's bring in Carl Ikeme on that. Emi Martinez with the best save of the game so far. Yeah, it was a great save. I think when you see it slow down, there's a bit of movement in it late doors, and got a really good, strong hand to it. As Loom said, another half a yard, I think it's past him. But yeah, top save. And we've had the better chances really in the game. I'm quite disappointed, in all honesty, for the majority of the half. I felt like we went back to front too quickly from Codes and Saiss, and our back four. It kind of seemed like we had the four and Martino and Dendonka, and then the four up front, and the movement wasn't good enough to get on the ball. It seemed, I say it a lot at times, but sometimes when you have the back four and the front three, they need to come together in some stage, and sometimes they get isolated and you can't feed them balls into them. So I think the movement needs to be a bit better from the front four to get on the ball. But being said that, when they are on the board, they look like trouble. Podence, Neto look really sharp. Traore has been impressive. Fabio's put his body in a little bit more. I'd like, as Loom said, probably wants to see him a bit more aggressive in the box, really attacking them balls to score. You can be in the box, but you need to attack it to score. But the only thing that was disappointing for me in the half is that we looked a bit disjointed at times. And I think when Codes and Saiss are looking to play the ball out the back, they're having to risk balls. They're trying to play diagonals that are not really on, and I think it's one of them where probably Looms will tell you better than me that you probably need Fabio to spin in the channel, Neto to come inside, vice versa, to get these players on the ball.
What Keames is saying there is exactly spot on. They are a little bit disjointed because, again, we have to talk about the formation. You know, the likes of Saiss, more so Cody, he's not getting the time on the ball that he usually would. You know, usually he's in behind the two centre-backs, and he's got a little bit more free rein, which allows us to play a little bit more expansive because he's got the range of passing that he has got. So if you think about it, he's not seeing the ball as much. He's not getting as much time on it as what he usually would in that formation. So what Keames is saying, it's like we have to kind of force the issue by making those little channel runs because we've got the quality to play the passes. But again, I think there's the understanding there needs to be better. So the players know that Codes isn't going to get that time, so they have to basically over-exaggerate those balls in behind, which we do have all across the back three or four to play those. And like you say, Marshall and Semedo have to be more positive for us and be that outlet for us as well.
Well, Tomo, I mentioned to you in the commentary of that first half that it is an element, isn't it, of changing the shape at the back, in that normally when you've got the three defenders there, you're able to play it along your back line a little bit more, and the chasing press that comes from the opposition, you're able to take advantage of it. We saw last week Liverpool closed in on Cody and Bolly as it was and caused them some issues. And we've seen today, to Villa's credit, you mentioned the work rate of Watkins, really not giving the Wolves centre-halves that too much time to be able to decide where they want to play the ball.
No, it isn't. And also as well, he's got options as well, hasn't he? When he plays with that three at the back, he's got one of the two centre-halves what play alongside him where he's got an option, or he's got the full-back to play it out to. So he's got more options when he's playing in that three at the back. But because Watkins is closing them down and Villa are pushing on and making it difficult for Conor Cody to pick anybody out. So he's just having to do it. Look, he's hit some great balls already. He's had some diagonal ones, but he's not been as comfortable as what he normally is in that position. As the lads are just touching on there, we just need a little bit more movement in front of him.
Yeah,
more help.
So just to add to what we're saying, I know the topic of the formation is an issue. I'm sure Nuno's not thinking oh well, we should drop it to 3 to get Cody more time. No, let's just do it better. I'm sure he's gone through it in training, gone through the movement patterns of what Codes needs. Codes has got quality. He just hasn't got the movement there at times, and I think that's part down to the strikers and Moutinho and everyone. There's going to be movement patterns. You see it quite a lot when we're in a 3. Neves or Moutinho drop right out to the wing and let Semedo kick on. We need them movement patterns working more so we can play from the back. It's not necessarily that the formation is not working. It's about doing it better.
Yeah.
And I think that's what that's the progression that Nuno wants to make. I know the formation will always be a talking point because we've been the same for so long.
Yeah, that's the problem.
I think the thing is, I think we've got to get over it. I think that's the way Nuno wants to play. And if we're going to progress, then this is what he wants to do. He wants to try and get us more on the ball. He wants us to be more attacking, and we want more attacking football. And to be honest, even though I was disappointed at times when Podence and Neto and Traore got on the ball, they were razor sharp. I want to get them on the ball a little bit more often.
But Keens, don't you think that Rui Patricio has a bigger role to play? The principles are the same. You know the centre backs they over exaggerate the split. That then pushes on the full backs. If Aston Villa are going to go man for man, then Rui Patricio still has the quality from his feet to be picking out the full backs or the wide.
This is exactly what you're saying. Is exactly what I was thinking. Is that Villa are doing a great job of pressing us, but that's where we need to start taking. If we're going to play this way, you're going to have to start taking risks. A lot more risk than we've taken before. Whether that's Rui taking a bit more risk, or Codes or Moutinho dropping out, or having to force that pass into Moutinho and then play it round to Semedo, round the corner to Semedo, or on Marcel the other times. We're going to have to take risks because they are pressing us really well. But when they're pressing us so much and on top of us, there's got to be space for Neto, Podence or Traore somewhere, and that's where we need them movement patterns to work better for us.
It's been pretty feisty in that first half. Quite a few yellow cards. Both teams having a few issues with the referee as they went off. Would you be surprised if this stays 11v11 the way it's going?
Well, there's been some yellow cards that I would think that wouldn't be yellow cards. So those players themselves, I think Mike Dean's got the experience. He does love a red card, so I wouldn't be surprised if he did bring it out. No, that's honestly, you know what I mean. But I think the players and the managers will be very aware who's on a card, who the referee is, and how careful they have to kind of tread.
It's the Mike Dean show, isn't it? So you have to be a little bit careful, don't you? But you can kind of, that we're going to have to be careful, and I suppose that the Villa players are saying the same. You're seeing that it is a bit spicy, which we kind of want to see in the derby. You're seeing that players are on to Mike Dean now to get the cards out. There's been a few dubious cards, and when you give a few dubious ones, every foul is going to be questioned from then. So we do need to be careful.
Villa are just on their way back out very quickly. For you two who've been watching it on the TV, obviously we kept seeing lots of replays of the Romain Saiss fall to arm, handball. I don't know how it was described and talked about. Certainly no suggestion in the stadium that there was any serious check on that.
Yeah, there was definitely a check on it, Mikey, but I think it's just the tweak to the ruling. It was a genuine attempt to try and header the ball. Where else would his arm be? It was in a natural position for that, and he did try and get his arm out the way and put his head on it. So again, it comes down to that element of it's a referee's decision on the day. He's not seen it. It's not intentional, and common sense prevails.
Okay. Thank you, boys. More from Chris Iwelumo and Carl Ikeme to come after full time, when hopefully we'll be celebrating some Derby Day delight here at Molineux. Don't go anywhere. Second half is coming next.
Matchday Live on Wolves TV. Listen for free online at wolves.co.uk or on the move anywhere in the world via the Wolves app.
The Old Goal Club has a new series, My Golden Game. speaking to former and current players, coaches, managers and fans of the matches that meant the most to them.
It's a club who I have in my heart, and I always keep following it.
I'd been back to Molineux on a few occasions, and I'd never got a good reception, and that hurt me a little bit. Not that I thought I deserved better, but maybe because of those two games against West Brom, where I scored 4 goals in 2 appearances.
Check out the series so far, featuring the likes of Jodian Lescott, Kevin Doyle, Neil Emblem and Dennis Irwin.
I was absolutely delighted when they came in from England.
Here we go then, ready for the second half at Molineux. Wolves against Aston Villa, 0-0. Are we going to see a breakthrough in this second period? Wolves playing from right to left as we look at it, as Watkins plays the ball in low and Moutinho able to clear it away from inside his own penalty area. Wolves defending the Sir Jack Hayward South Bank second half. A little bit unusual. Normally would be attacking this Stankerless North Bank in the first half of games. Without any fans, I'm not sure it makes a huge amount of difference. His target gets his cross in. Cody with the header away. Ramsey tried to put it back in, and Moutinho getting it clear. There's Dendoncker, handball given against the hand of Dendoncker, and he's fuming at that decision from Mike Dean. Free kick Villa midway inside the Wolves half. Patricio in goal for Wolves. Semedo, Cody, Saïs, Marçal, Dendoncker, Moutinho, Pedence, Traoré, Fabio Silva, Neto. Martinez in goal for Villa. Cash, Conser, Mings, Target, McGinn, Luiz and Ramsey midfield, Bertrand, Traoré, Watkins and Grealish the attacking three. And I think you could hear the groan from Tomo that suggested it wasn't a free kick.
Well, it's come off his stomach, hasn't he? He says he's controlled it with his stomach.
Villa free kick. Bertrand Traoré out to the left-hand side to Grealish, up against Adama Traoré. Showed too much of it to Pedence, who tried to bring it clear, and it's Wolves' turn to get a free kick as Matt Target tried to block him. Early one up to Pedence. Fabio Silva trying to set Pedence away. Too much on that pass, and Mings playing it back to Emi Martinez. Made 13 Wolves appearances in his loan spell. Remember, he got injured here against Burnley, and on came Carl Ikeme to pretty much a standing ovation at the time. It was a lovely moment. And then he didn't get back in, as Keames kept him out. And his Target blocked off by Dendoncker. Fabio Silva showing enough awareness to drop his shoulder and turn and go to the Wolves' left and find Marçal. To Neto, back to Marçal, under pressure from Bertrand Traoré. Back to Saïs on the edge of his own penalty area, across it for Cody. A short one to Dendoncker. On to Marçal. Wide for Neto, closed down by Cash. Back to Marçal again. Infield to Dendoncker, seeing plenty of the ball early on. And he was under pressure from McGinn, but he sliced his kick forwards, and it's a Villa throw.
Yeah, just everybody run away from him, didn't he? Just needed somebody short there, say Fabio Silva and Neto, both pushing on and running past. Just needed somebody to come short there for him.
Target back to Martinez. Oh, just having a bit of a pause as Connor Cody needs a little bit of treatment here. Maybe a bit of blood on the shirt. Yeah, I think there is.
He's got a hit in the nose, hasn't he?
They'll need that treated, and a replacement shirt for the Wolves captain. There's a chance to look at some more of your messages. Ellen was listening in first half, saying she was walking down Blackpool Road giggling about a hovering Dendoncker. It was Tomo's complaint when Grealish and Dendoncker landed on Grealish's foot. Pam James says the Shifnal sofa posse, i.e. me and two cats, have faith in the pocket rocket, which I think is Daniel Pedence, and Nifty Neto. Hi to James in Marseille and big brother Steve in Codsall. Let's show these Brummies, says Pam. You can get in touch at Mikey Burrows at Wolves on social media. Use the hashtag Wolves Live. Plenty of you giving your messages through.
Just watching the replay of what they're saying where Cody got hurt, but it doesn't really look much, does it? Unless the ball's done it.
Not too much in it. He's still getting some treatment. John Eads had predicted a 3-1 Wolves today. Robbie 2-1. Rob Cross 1-0 win. Fabio to score. James Gitcham also going for 1-0 with Fabio Silva.
Den Donker's just dropped back into the back line, hasn't he? Because Conor Cody's got to come off already. He's going to have another shirt put on, I think.
I think that was a plain shirt, and I think they've actually gone and got him his spare.
Yeah.
With his name and number on the back. So Wolves captain temporarily off the field as we're back underway. 5 minutes officially played of the second half. Cody racing back into position. Villa have the ball through Mings. Switched out to the right-hand side to Cash. On halfway, closed down by Neto. Back to Konsa. Konsa taking his time, under pressure from Fabio Silva now. Finds Cash. Loose one that went infield straight to Podence. Podence with an adventurous pass, looking for Fabio Silva. Came to Neto, who was blocked off by Cash. And Villa can try and clear. Sometimes it just feels like Daniel Podence tries to take the most adventurous option possible.
I think sometimes you've just got to play the simple ball, haven't you? And again,
Marcel forwards, both Fabio Silva and Neto were coming back from offside positions.
I'm all for trying to, in that top third, to try and get that ball through to the strikers and all that, but there's been easier options for him a couple of times now, and he's always took the hard one and it's just broke down. He had time and space to actually keep the ball for himself.
Ball down the left-hand channel for Villa, for John McGinn, who'd pulled wide. Cody blocks his cross. Villa throw a couple of yards from the corner flag.
Yeah, already they've started in this second half. Again, McGinn breaking from that central midfield area, going out just between Traore.
Grealish up against Matinho. Towards the edge of the penalty area, just inside the box. Jack Grealish trying to find room to get a cross in. Turning back wide. McGinn left foot into the danger zone. It was just over the top of Watkins, who was under pressure from Saiz.
Yeah.
Neto lets him run through for a throw.
Good ball in from McGinn, but Saiz did really well there against Watkins. Just did enough just to ease him out. Yeah, did well. Saiz just got into him a little bit, didn't he? For enough pressure on him.
He had the run on Romain Saiz. He needed to pay close attention. Still 0-0. With just over 7 minutes played of the second half. Marçal with the Wolves throw. Thrown down the line towards Fabio Silva, who's collided into the back by Ezri Konsa. His target in the centre circle. The switch it high towards Bertrand Traore, who jumped over the top of Marçal, and it's a Wolves throw.
Yeah, again, Marcel's just getting into him. Traore just got him under the ball. Villa are just blocking everything off, aren't they, on throw-ins.
Marcel's throw.
He's going to end up getting it the other way in a minute if they don't hurry up.
Went short to Matinho, and Bertrand Traore poking it out of play for a throw. Pretty much exact same position. There's so many players crowded round there.
But Villa are just crowding it out in there, so they're not leaving any space for Wolves to throw anything to it, a spare one.
Marçal will try again. He's got Fabio Silva down the line. He'll go towards Adama Traore, who came and joined the crowd. Ramsey, Watkins on the turn towards the edge of the penalty area, and he was closed down enough as he got his strike, and it loops into the arms of Rui Patricio.
Yeah, great defending from Saiz. Initially, it looked like Watkins was getting away from him, but he was able just to get a block on it.
Saiz forwards. Cash with the header away. Bertrand Traore down for Douglas Luiz. McGinn had to hold off the challenge of Podence, who was closing in. There is Ramsey pulling wide for Villa. Matty Cash taking it on, driving into the penalty area from the right-hand side. Den Donker did enough to get a touch on it. Heads it down towards Semedo, who will look to try and drive the ball clear here. Nelson Semedo with a good pass that Neto left for Adama Traore on the inside left. Traore cutting away from two challenges, switching it to Podence on the right-hand side, up towards the edge of the area. Into the box goes Podence, tries to get his strike away, and it deflects off target and loops up to Emi Martinez.
Yeah, so I thought that was a good opportunity for Wolves there. Oh.
Semedo with a touch on Grealish. Villa free kick, taken quickly. Watkins trying to use his speed up against Cody, but Cody showing great strength to get across and hold him off, and it will be a Villa throw, though, deep in the Wolves' half.
You just look at that counter-attack from Wolves there, so I think it was 4 against 3 they had against Villa. Just unfortunate they just couldn't get that correct delivery or correct pass in there.
10 minutes gone at the start of the second half here at Molineux. Wolves 0, Aston Villa 0. There's a little bit of sunshine. It's still breaking through, but there are some ominous-looking rain clouds heading our way. There's McGinn trying to hold off his man to target. Foot in by Podence, denying Grealish, but another Villa throw. Target with it. Level with the edge of the Wolves penalty area. Grealish down the line. Ramsey coming short for him. Jacob Ramsey, teenage midfielder, up against João Moutinho. Vast difference in their experience.
Yeah, just a little bit, isn't it?
All poked in field. Neto couldn't get there ahead of Bertrand Traore. Ball went backwards for Villa, but Cash takes on the turn and goes driving down the right-hand side. Fabio Silva tracked him all the way. Bertrand Traore, it's Cash's cross in. Semedo's header comes through to Grealish, far side of the box. Onto his right foot, trying to find some room to get the shot away. Trying to tee it up for Douglas Luiz. Douglas Luiz striking through the bodies, but wide of the right-hand post.
Oh, I was just holding my breath there. Dangerous position for Villa to be in. So Dendoncker did really well against Grealish, because you could see he was just trying to make that half yard for the shot. And he just closed him down. But Luiz just broke away, I'll tell you what. It's a big miss, that is. Oh, just watching it from behind the goal. Douglas Luiz there. Struck it well, but fortunate for Wolves, he just pulled it wide.
57 minutes played. Moutinho has won it high up the field. Fabio Silva with a block challenge, but Cash with a misplaced clearance. It's not been an absolute classic in terms of pure footballing aesthetics, this game, but there's been plenty in there.
Well, that's what derbies are, aren't they? So, look, two teams being competitive, having a go. Don't want to make a mistake.
Second half, very similar to the first in that so far, Villa have had 70% of the ball. The Wolves grew into it first half. Can they do so again? Cody's diagonal pass intercepted by Cash. Under pressure from Podence. Saiz will be chased by Watkins. He plays it short to Marçal. Infield to Moutinho. Back to Cody, middle of the Wolves half. Semedo had set off on a little bit of a run and Cody didn't see him until now. Target under pressure. Semedo chasing. Clearance as far as Dendoncker to Fabio Silva. Helped towards Semedo. Now Adama Traore for Wolves. 35 yards from goal. Outside of his right boot. Switching the play to Podence. Marçal is up on the overlap. Podence on his right foot. Spotted an attempted run by Fabio Silva, but he was just blocked off. And the ball went through to the keeper, who launched it downfield early. Cody wins it in the air ahead of Grealish, but it'll be a Villa throw.
There again, for me, it's a wrong option again. So look, I know he stopped his run, Fabio Silva, but there was either options on there. He could have even took it a little bit himself.
Moutinho with a brave header. Adama Traore away from target. He's got Podence to his right, options to his left. Traore trying to go it alone. Low strike, easy save for Martinez down to his right-hand side.
Again, we've got 4 against 3 against Villa. 4 against 3. And I don't know if that was the right option as well. I know he's shot, but we've got to utilise that extra player for me.
Game maybe getting a bit more stretched now.
Yeah.
McGinn switched over to Bertrand Traore. Up against Marçal. Enfield away from Moutinho. Still continuing on now to McGinn, to Grealish, just inside the penalty area, again on his right foot, blocked off by Semedo this time. He wants the ball to go out of play for a corner. It was spinning and eventually goes behind. And Villa will get a set piece that Traore will go and take left-footed this time.
Yeah. So swing it out, he's left it. So Grealish has usually been the one taking it. It looks like he wants to be the one in the penalty area now. Again, just got to be aware they've had a couple of opportunities, Wolves, on the counter-attack and haven't really used the ball that well.
Traore left-footed from the left-hand side in front of the south bank. And a little bit of shade in that corner.
Well, Ramsey's spare here on the edge of the box.
Low one into the near post. Podence plays it back out to Bertrand Traore. He fizzes a cross in, hits Moutinho. Bounces out to McGinn, who lifts it in right-footed. Marçal got his head to it. It's out of play for a Villa throw on the right-hand side.
Yeah, good defending. Good defending from them, staying strong.
There's Cash. Douglas Luiz, the option short for the throw. Lifted back to Matty Cash. Moutinho with a foot in, and he played it off the Villa man.
Well done,
throw.
Moutinho.
Had a good game today, Jean Moutinho.
He has. He's worked hard in there. He's got some important touches on the ball.
Don't know about you, it's really off-putting every time you look up at the big screen and see Bully in his Wolves Christmas pajamas on the screen.
He's always in his pajamas.
As long as he's not in his birthday suit, I think we'll all be all right.
It's too cold nowadays, ain't it?
His foot in by Dendoncker. Check out wolves.co.uk, by the way, the shop, if you want to see those pajamas that Bully's wearing.
Oh, he's got it.
Fabio Silva penalised for a challenge on Cash on the halfway line.
Yeah, I think Nuno's getting frustrated as well. So just watching it, so like we just seem to be picking the difficult ball at the moment. So look, we're just trying to spread it there. We've done brilliant to initially win the ball for Dendoncker. And then we've tried to switch it. It was always under hit, sorry. But I just think that we're forcing it. Just take your time, be a little bit patient with it.
Just past the hour mark. 62 minutes played. Wolves nil, Aston Villa nil. Here comes Cash down the right-hand side for Villa. Bertrand Traore blocked off by Marçal. He wants the throw in, he gets it again.
Good defending from Marçal.
He stood firm. Possessions back to 60-40 as Wolves grow more into the second half. Throw in towards Podence, middle of his own half, under pressure from Ramsey. Lifts the ball out to Semedo. He's got Neto down the line. Here is Pedro Neto up against target. Neto drifting in field, and Lads continue his run, and he might fancy a dig. It's a brilliant hit. He was just wide of the right-hand post, and he knows it was close. Pedro Neto might even have clipped the woodwork on its way through.
Oh, it's a great strike. Oof.
No, just wide.
No, but what a strike. The keeper wasn't getting it, was he, Martinez? So he's dived for it, but I think if it's on target, he's not stopping that.
At full stretch, Emi Martinez. It just swerved away. Podence putting pressure on former Wolves loanee in the Villa goal. Ming's clearance. McGinn's header on halfway will be a Wolves throw. Dean Smith's unhappy with the fourth official for something. Villa might be considering a change. Maybe Wolves might do so too. I've got Neves amongst those warming up at the minute. Not a huge amount attacking-wise on the bench, it has to be said. Patricio's clearance. Cash got there ahead of Adama Traore. Wide for Bertrand Traore, low cross in. Saiss with the first header, but they'll pull it back for foul on Cash in the build-up.
Well, he needs to be careful. He's been booked, hasn't he, already, Traore?
Adama Traore.
Oh,
I don't think any of them.
No, I don't think anything's
touched
done
him.
it. No, I'm just watching that again.
Marçal put his foot out. He didn't make contact, and
no, it wasn't Traore.
Down went Cash. Well, Villa have got a free kick when nobody appeared to touch him.
Must be that they just shouted loud enough, I think.
There was a loud shout.
Yeah.
64 minutes played. Two-man wall being paced back to just outside the penalty area. It's a long way to the right of centre as you look towards goal. Bertrand Traore, the left footer, Douglas Luiz and Jack Grealish also stood over it. Plenty of men forwards from the back as well to aim for as Grealish goes for goal and couldn't get it on target. Patricio looked like he had it covered anyway.
Yeah, so similar position about the Newcastle goal, wasn't it? Where he must have been watching that, fancied his chances. Yeah, probably just a little bit further out, wasn't it?
"65 minutes played, yet to be a breakthrough in the derby. Still a fascinating battle, this. Fabio Silva challenging. Ball comes forwards for Villa to Grealish. He went flying in on Moutinho. Douglas Luiz taking it on. Wide for Watkins, into the penalty area. He comes on his right foot, striking, and Rui Patricio with a very good stop at his near post. Might have been a little deflection on that, and he had to react quickly, the Wolves keeper.
Well, I think it was a deflection, and so it's a good save from him. Just getting down to his right-hand side. One-on-one. Yeah, just took the sting out of it.
Two deflections.
Yeah. Was it Conor Cody? Just took the sting out of it a little bit, but good save.
Yeah, more defending to do for Wolves. Traore left-footed from the left-hand side. High in towards the near post. There was a flick on from a Villa head. Moutinho trying to get it clear. Will drop for Marçal, who slices his attempted clearance. And Douglas Luiz happy to let the ball bounce out of play for a Villa throw. Thrown down the line towards Bertrand Traore. Marçal's header. Moutinho being dragged back by Jacob Ramsey.
I think that was experience there, wasn't it? You could see him there. He's waiting for him to come.
Saiss across to Cody. Watkins was closing in. Back to Saiss. 66.5 minutes played. Wolves 0, Villa 0. Here's Cody. Trying to feed it down the line for Semedo. It was read by Target, who slid in and put it out of play for a Wolves throw-in. Valence leaving the ball for Semedo. Fabio Silva was coming short. Traore coming short. Semedo got it back from Fabio Silva. And all the way back to the midpoint of his half for Saiss. And to feed it out early towards Pedro Neto on halfway on the Wolves' left. Yard in from the touchline to Marçal. 1-2 with Moutinho. Backwards to Saiss. Cross to Cody. Watkins digging deep to chase. It's Cody looking early for a hanging ball towards Adama Traore. Target jumping into him. Just a Wolves throw.
He's just touched on there. I think he's jumped into him there to stop him from moving.
Semedo, Pedence, Dendoncker. Adama Traore trying to help it on down the line for Pedence, who just had to check his run, but he does get an inviting cross in there that Konsa is able to climb highest to head it away. McGinn for Target and cleared to the halfway line. Cody reading it, getting in front of Watkins. Semedo, though, took it from him. And under pressure from Grealish, playing it all the way back to Patricio. Mike Dean had a long look at that challenge. Like Grealish on Semedo. Dendoncker with a flick on. Mings back into the Wolves half. Semedo in front of Grealish. Little pass to find the feet of Pedence, allowed to turn in the Villa half and drive on forwards here onto Fabio Silva, who strikes it low off the inside of the post, and the follow-up is blocked by Konsa. Fabio Silva within inches of getting his first goal. Here's Adama Traore on the edge of the box. Neat bit of footwork from him. Back to Marçal. Wide down the left-hand side to Neto. Neto is caught in the face by Bertrand Traore. Wolves free kick. Well, Fabio Silva nearly had his special moment, and he knows how close he came.
Got a big smile on his face, hasn't he? It's a good strike. Just margins again, isn't it?
It's a lovely weighted pass by Podence.
Yeah.
Perfect to strike first time. Martinez beaten. And we're talking fractions.
Yeah, less than a foot on that, and it's in. The other side of the post we needed, didn't it?
And Concert got back to the follow-up as well. Neto with the free kick, low, came off Grealish, comes out of the penalty area to Marçal. Now for Daniel Podence. Podence beating Ramsey, collatted into by Watkins. Ball comes to Cody, who lifts it into the danger zone. Saiss was still forwards. Matinho trying to whip it wide to the left-hand side to Neto. Here's Marçal, infield to Matinho, allowed to turn, finds Neto with a pass to feet. Neto up against Grealish, a 1-2 with Marçal. Neto's cross to the far post, nobody really there, comes all the way through to Podence on the right-hand side, up against McGinn. Checking back onto his left foot, now back onto his right. Clever footwork, crosses goalwards, headed goalwards by Saiss. And Martinez at full stretch to his right this time to deny the Moroccan.
Yeah, good player again for Podence down that right inside. Great little ball. He just couldn't get any power on it to it, could it? And looking at, he's just running, just a deflection off Mings, I think. And so he's just couldn't get enough power on it to beat Martinez. It's a good little spell, though. Good little spell from Wolves.
Less than 20 minutes to play. Still goalless on Derby Day in the Midlands as Grealish comes down the left-hand side for Villa, deep in the Wolves' half. Trying to pull it back here for Watkins, who's forced his way past one challenge, but not past Saiss. Traore hit his arm, so it will be a Villa free kick. Free kick taken quickly. McGinn, early cross in again, and Bertrand Traore is clattered. Villa are appealing for a penalty. Mike Dean is waving away the protests and just gives a goal kick. Although it's offside, they're going to come back for anyway. Got a word in his ear from the assistant referee on the near side to the Billy Wright stand. Marçal just got himself the wrong side. Does touch Bertrand Traore, but
yeah, well, it takes
the assistant referee's flag takes away the decision.
Yeah.
A little bit of a warning there for Wolves. John Terry had come down from the stand to have a word with the fourth official as Saiss launches forwards towards Traore. It was a good diagonal ball, but Traore's control wasn't tight enough. McGinn back to Martinez. Matinho challenging. Watkins back to Douglas Luiz, up to Bertrand Traore, but a foot in by Marçal, sends it Neto's way on halfway to Dendoncker, wide for Adama Traore. Time to pick up the ball and look to charge towards the corner of the box. Attempted low one in towards Podence. Douglas Luiz drops to Semedo, who strikes it left-footed. Not a bad effort, but a comfortable save by Emi Martinez, low to his left-hand side.
No, so he caught it reasonably well, didn't he? Never really tested Martinez, but again, willing to have a shot from distance. Willing to test the keeper.
It's like maybe Anwar El Ghazi being prepared by Villa. In the meantime, Semedo there ahead of Grealish. Grealish flicking it forwards again. Cody will turn and hook it towards halfway. Target chesting down for McGinn. Back again wide to Matt Target. Down the line for the run of Watkins. Cody at his back. Cody with a touch to it. Came off the Villa man.
Yeah,
Wolves throw.
Good defending. Good defending. Not allowing him any time and space to get any turn and a touch on the ball.
Wolves may be starting to think about a change. Nothing imminent just yet. I can see Rui Pedro Silva, Nuno's number 2, in deep discussion with someone down on the bench. Nuno still patrolling the edge of his technical area. As Saiss gets the better of Bertrand Traore to release Marçal. Down the left-hand side for Neto into the Villa half. Neto up against Cash. Going to check his run and play it backwards to Marçal. Infield to Matinho, short pass. He finds Podence. Podence nearly showed too much of it to McGinn. Matinho with a first-time ball hanging high out to the right-hand side, but he'll bounce out of play for a Villa throw. 16 minutes remain. And it's still there for either side to go on and get a goal. And Cody wrestling with Watkins and Villa getting the free kick. And it's Bertrand Traore to be replaced by Anwar El Ghazi.
Yeah, so another striker coming on. Another attacking player.
Nuno now joining the Brains Trust over Pedro Silva and Ian Cathro as they discuss what to do next, what to do in response. Free kick will be taken left-footed by Target. And to launch it into the penalty area. Semedo heading it away at the near post. Pedence slices his clearance. He went back in field. McGinn lifting towards El Ghazi. He won't reach it. It'll be a Wolves goal kick. What would you be thinking if you were changing it up from Wolves' point of view?
Well, as you said there, he's limited on the attacking options on there. Does he change the formation a little bit? Does he take one of the more advanced players off? But you're trying to win the game, aren't you? So that's the thing. So you want to try and win the game. So it's going to be difficult to see who he does bring on. Do you bring Neves on for Moutinho in there? But I think Moutinho's had a good game. It's been hard work for him in there. That would be the only thing I'd think of.
The message has gone to someone down below us. There's Cash with a throw for Villa inside his own half. McGinn and Dendoncker were battling, and McGinn complaining, and Dendoncker had a grip of McGinn's shirt. Yellow card for the Belgian. Free kick on halfway. Fabio Silva denying Douglas Luiz from taking it quickly as he launches it wide towards Grealish. Like a hint of handball, but Semedo has the ball.
Yeah, well done, Semedo. Defended really well.
So a much better second half, Semedo, hasn't he, defensively than maybe he did in the first.
Well, by far, he's their best player, isn't he, Grealish? And he's done well against him. So I think there's only once or twice he's probably had the run on him. He's done well to get into him straight away. Made it difficult for him.
It's Neves.
Yeah.
He's being prepared. "13 minutes plus time to be added on. Is there to be a bit of late drama? Between two fierce Midlands rivals.
Yeah, it's been a good contest, hasn't it? Been a good contest. So you can see why Villa are where they are. They do look a stronger outfit this year.
Douglas Luiz with a high ball wide to Cash. It's just to wait for it to settle as Neto went challenging in. Too strongly for the officials' liking. Another Villa free kick. Yard in from the right-hand touchline.
And that's what I think that we've got to try and stop in this latter stages of the game, giving away silly free kicks, because all they're going to do is just put it straight into the box. And as we all know, you never know what's going to happen, the rebounds or deflection or whatever.
Douglas Luiz with the free kick. Doesn't beat Neto on the edge of the penalty area. And Wolves might be able to launch a bit of a counter on here. Daniel Pedence, he stood on the ball. Has to play early towards Fabio Silva. It hits Fabio Silva. Dendoncker takes over, and by hook or by crook, they've worked it to Neto. His cross was blocked off before it could reach Adama Traore. And Ollie Watkins has kept in the clearance, and suddenly it's a counter from Villa. It's Watkins up against Connor Cody. Past him on the outside, low cross, blocked off by Saïd. Still Watkins with it, though. Finds Grealish. Grealish inviting cross towards El Ghazi. Headed away by Dendoncker. Douglas Luiz closing in. Pedence in front of him. And Pedence, calm as you like, in his own penalty area. 1-2 off his right foot to his left, and then knocks it round El Ghazi and runs and collects it.
That's a great bit of skill, isn't it?
There's Moutinho. Marçal down the line for Daniel Pedence. Neto ahead of him. Fabio Silva through the middle. Pedence Infield to Moutinho. Plays it first time wide for Neto. Podence is infield. Neto driving on, cutting infield. Now trying to spin back onto his left foot, just inside the penalty area. Then a little Rabona cross. It comes to Dendoncker. What a save by Emi Martinez. How has he managed to keep that out? Dendoncker can't believe it. Emi Martinez has pulled off a stunning stop.
It's Dendoncker going off.
And it was his last contribution, Leander Dendoncker. Instep of his right foot. Fired it goalwards from 10 yards out. And it just instinct from Martinez to deny him.
And that was well struck by Dendoncker. And that's unfortunate. It's his last bit of the game. But good play from Neto down this left-hand side.
10 minutes to play. Neves on for Dendoncker. Dendoncker was on a yellow card, of course, so might have played a factor in the decision.
Oh, that's the best opportunity of the half, isn't it?
He's had 2 good chances, Leander Dendoncker, in this game.
He has. That's probably his best one. Just needed to be a little bit away from the keeper, didn't it? It's probably a little bit close to him. That's probably why he's been able to do the save.
It was maybe just focusing on getting a sweet connection rather than the direction. Traore bounces off 2 challenges and looks to drive through another and is completely taken out.
He's off here. He's off.
And this should be a second yellow card, you would imagine.
Target.
Consa's got a yellow card. Target, if he's the man yellow carded, that's not a second yellow.
Oh, no, it's not.
It was Douglas Luiz challenging in.
Yeah, it's Target who's done the tackle, I think.
I'm pretty sure he showed one to Consa as well. Douglas Luiz was closing in, but it is Target that makes the initial foul.
Initially, I thought it was David Luiz. So, Douglas Luiz, sorry.
We'll wait for confirmation as to whether Consa went into the book as well. It did look like he showed a second yellow, not a second yellow as in a red, but a second yellow to a second Villa player. Plenty of Villa's players in the referee's notebook.
Early on as well, wasn't it? Three yellow cards early on in that first half. Good little spell here, though. So a good little spell. Put some pressure on Villa.
Villa players are screaming at El Ghazi, who was trying to stay high up the pitch, and they were saying, come on, you got to get back and help us out.
Is that a striker's mentality? Is it? I'm staying up here.
3-man wall is just outside the penalty area. Moutinho stood over it right-footed. Neto left-footed. Cody amongst those on the edge of the box, waiting to close in. João Moutinho plays it short to Traore on the right-hand side, into the penalty area. Traore trying to scoop it in towards Podence, who headed it. Fabio Silva with an overhead kick and a comfortable take by Emi Martinez.
Yeah, never really caught it, did he? Kind of looped up nice for the keeper.
8 minutes to play. Still goalless as Moutinho fouls his man.
Yeah,
he's Grealish, and he's going to get a yellow card. Seventh player of the game, at least. Find their way into the referee's notebook.
Yeah, you're looking at all the yellow cards and all that. It's not been a dirty game, has it? So, like, it's just silly little infringements, pulling the shirts or pulling back.
Niggly and feisty.
Niggly and feisty, yes.
And still, both teams trying to win. But as yet, no breakthrough. Wolves trying to stand firm here. As Villa will send the big boys forwards from the back to launch it up. It's only, 15 yards inside the Wolves half. Yard or so in from the left-hand touchline. Target just firing it into the penalty area. Saiss with the header away. Ramsey getting it back from Douglas Luiz as he comes out to the right-hand side. Closed down by Moutinho. Tries to stretch, got something on the ball. It'll be a Villa throw.
I think it's going to be a long throw, isn't it? Cash? No, I thought it might be a long throw.
Cash is coming over.
Yeah.
Throws it down the line for El Ghazi. Foot in by Moutinho. Another throw for Villa, working closer to the corner flag. 6 minutes remain of the 90 at Molineux. Cash with a throw to Douglas Luiz. Reverse ball, foot in by Moutinho. Podence was challenged unfairly by Douglas Luiz. And a yellow card.
He's off.
Oh, it's a second yellow for Douglas Luiz. And he is off. And a little bit of surprise there. Mike Dean took a long while to make that decision.
Well, I'll tell you what, none of the players were overly appealing, was there, to the referee? I say it looked like it just stopped, and they just give the free kick, and that was it. And then all of a sudden, a few seconds later, he's produced the second yellow for him.
He did lead with the arm, Douglas Luiz.
Well, that might be the reason why referees had a little think about it, whether or not.
And Villa are reduced to 10 men. And now Wolves have a man advantage. Can they get a goal advantage? Adama Traore to try and drive forwards down the right-hand side here. Grealish tracking back with him. Grealish looked to pull him down. Wolves are fuming.
Well,
Mike Dean is not interested.
That'll be checked by VAR. Well, you'd think it would be.
Cody got the better of Watkins. Still we play on. Ruben Neves with the ball to Marçal. Wide down the left-hand side to Neto. Bit of a different game now. Wolves trying to make their extra man advantage pay as Neves sweeps a wonderful pass out to Traore. Up against target. Grealish there too. Semedo's run on the underlap. Here he is. Forced a little bit wide. Back to Adama Traore. Infield to Podence. Looking around for an option. Scooping one towards Semedo. Semedo to the byline. Blocked off and the ball rebounds wide for a throw out by the corner flag.
Yeah, well, they've got to utilise this extra player now, haven't they? They've got to make sure they make it work, don't get caught. Well, we've got about 4 minutes left, and what injury time will come with it? Probably 4 or 5 minutes.
Presume it has been checked, and just watching a couple of replays, didn't look a huge amount in it. Grealish on Traore.
Yeah, just saying there, he's having to go at Traore for going down. I'm just need to find one to talk, isn't he?
Semedo getting it back for Matinho. Little back heel to find Podence, looking to drift infield. Turning away from Ramsey. Ball comes all the way back to Cody, to Matinho. Semedo had set off on a run. Matinho didn't see him until too late. Here's Neves. Lovely ball out wide left for Neto. Driving infield. Podence again. Here's Daniel Podence. Middle of the Villa half to Matinho. He's got options to his right, one of which is Traore. Finds him. Traore up against Grealish and target again. Onto his left foot. Crossing in. Fabio Silva couldn't quite get across in front of Ezri Konsa. Has been confirmation that he did get a yellow card, by the way. Another Villa man walking the tightrope. They've already had one sent off for 2 yellows.
Well, there's a few of them, isn't there? There's a few of them who...
Well, Podence is clattered into by
That's got a yellow card for Grealish as well.
And he will find his way into the referee's notebook.
Oh, you're running out to let in his pencil in a minute, wouldn't we? He made the cards that he's given.
Oh. 7 yellow cards being shown to Villa players if you count the 2 for Douglas Luiz. 3 for Wolves players. Matinho with an early one, looking for the run of Podence. Too much on it.
Yeah.
Martinez out quickly.
Yeah, just too much on it, and he just, once you hit the ground, it's just skidded on into the keeper's hands as well.
Hasn't been a 0-0 between these two since August 2011. Wolves temporarily went top of the Premier League at that point. It was early on in the campaign. A campaign that went drastically wrong for pretty much immediately after that, has to be said. There's Grealish. That's a Tyrone Mings. Martinez looking to clear it forwards. Hasn't been a 0-0 between the two here at Molineux since 1975.
No, it wasn't playing.
Watkins trying to hold off Cody. Free kick Villa. I knew it was coming. Heading towards the final minute of the 90. Plus time to be added on. Villa with 10 men, but still maybe looking to try and take all 3 points.
And there's going to be 5 minutes of extra time. I've just seen the fourth official indicate.
Target waiting to launch it forwards. Mings and Konsa are up there. El Ghazi, Watkins and Grealish the targets too. Goes high to the far post. Saiss wins it. Has to chase it himself. El Ghazi, but for Ramsey, hanging cross. Semedo did brilliantly to get there ahead of Grealish and head it behind for a corner.
Well, he had 2 Villa players around him, didn't he, as well, Semedo? He had to win it. It's great defending from him. It's a good ball in. Yeah, Watkins and I think Grealish it was as well.
It's a key point of the game.
Yeah.
Last couple of seconds of the 90. Confirmation there will be 5 minutes being added on. Cross in, right-footed from the left-hand side. Hanging delivery. I think it's Traore who got his head to it. Ramsey put it back in there. Semedo with the clearance. McGinn heads it in. Saiss heads it away. Pedence trying to bring it down. Battling away with Mings, and a free kick going to be given Villa's way.
Yeah, you can see what Pedence thinks about it, punching the floor.
Neto getting involved when he doesn't need to. Adama Traore and Konsa now doing a little bit between them, and the players just need to calm themselves down. Neves coming across to act as peacemaker.
Yeah, as you said there earlier on, a bit niggly, but I don't think there's much in that.
Well, it looks like Mings wraps his arm around Pedence
and then falls.
And then falls.
Yeah, I don't think there's much in that.
We have played a minute of the 5 being added on. Villa taking their time over this. Cash placing the ball ever so purposely. Poise trying to eat up more time. Still we wait for Cash to take this free kick. Mike Dean's asking the question. Come on, get on with it.
So run out of daylight soon if you carry on.
Big kick forwards up towards Watkins in the penalty area. Loses it to Matinho. Slid in though, and the ball rebounds to Ramsey. Wide for Grealish. Up against Semedo. Matinho's there to help out. Grealish using support from McGinn. Infield of Semedo, but Semedo's cracking with him. And penalty given to Aston Villa. Semedo's challenge, trying to hold on to John McGinn. And it's a massive moment so late in the game. Aston Villa with a chance to win it from the penalty spot. Just catches him.
I think the legs just got wrapped around each other, didn't they? Just watching it again. Yeah, he's just caught the back of his leg as he's running back.
Anwar El Ghazi against Rui Patricio. Patricio, save from Jamie Vardy this season. Also conceded against Vardy in the same game. Fourth penalty Wolves have conceded this season. 2 have been scored and 1 missed. It's time for Rui Patricio. Can he deny El Ghazi and keep it at level terms in the derby? El Ghazi right-footed in front of the South Bank. Here he comes, the Villa man. He sends Patricio the wrong way and scores into the far right corner. And Villa have the lead late on. Such disappointment and despair.
Well, that's a body blow, isn't it? And they won't be in rush. They've run to the corner flag, and they won't be in no rush to come back on or into their own half.
The 10 men of Aston Villa lead on Derby Day. Wolves 0, Villa 1. And Wolves will have about 90 seconds to try and get themselves an equaliser. It's a cruel game sometimes. You can make a strong case that neither side deserved to lose this match.
No. So Wolves have probably had the best chances of the game, especially that Dendoncker one.
Watkins has run all the way across the centre circle just to eat up more time. Marçal. Looks like Saiss is going to go and play up front. Villa, though, with the ball. Ramsey caught by Moutinho. Moutinho is going to get himself a second yellow card. And he will join Douglas Luiz in having an early shower. Both sides will finish the game with 10 men. And time is very much against Wolves now, as Villa can eat up as many seconds as possible in preparing to take this free kick. Well, I mean, a suspension for Moutinho too, with Chelsea to come here at Molineux on Tuesday.
Oh, just watching that, I don't think he's even caught him.
Concert stood over the ball. He's going to wait for Emi Martinez to come forwards and take it. We're in added time of added time. And it is slipping away from Wolves here as the long kick goes towards the corner. Grealish will try and hold it up away from Semedo. Semedo challenging at his back. Traore went in. It'll be a Wolves throw, but they're a long way from where they need to be. Villa are preparing another sub as Neves tries to work the ball forwards. Adama Traore, big crunching challenge in from Mings. Goal kick. Patricio racing to get to the ball. And here comes the change. It's Jacob Ramsey coming off and Marvelous Nakamba coming on. Teenage midfielder being replaced late on. And he's taking even more time. He stops to adjust his sock before he walks off the field. We've now played 6 minutes of time being added on. How much more is Mike Dean going to allow?
Oh, I don't think there'll be much now. I think it's done and dusted. I think probably come on, just wasted a little bit more time.
Patricio's kick to the halfway line. Saiss challenging. Nakamba's first touch to poke it forwards. Whistle to his lips. And it's derby victory for Aston Villa in cruel fashion. A late penalty. The difference between the two teams. Fabio Silva came within millimetres of giving Wolves the lead in the second half on his first Premier League start, looking for his first Premier League goal. But it was not to be. And it's Aston Villa who celebrate their first win at Molineux in 4 attempts. It's a game that will hurt many, as the local bragging rights go back to Birmingham. And Wolves, with back-to-back defeats, have some thinking to do ahead of a visit from Chelsea here in the week. It finished Wolves 0, Aston Villa 1.
Yeah, so look, it's a big blow, isn't it? So to concede so late on to a penalty. Just got caught, didn't we, Salah? Just on the heels a little bit. McGinn's just running there. And it's something that he's took up most of the match, where he's gone onto that left-hand side and he's been running at Semedo. And he's just had the fortune of just getting past him. The ball went through Semedo's legs and he got the other side of him. Yes, it's a blow, isn't it? It's a blow.
Well, it's ever more painful when it's against your local rivals. We'll take a break and we'll get some reaction from Andy Thompson, Carl Ikeme and Chris Iwelumo on Matchday Live Extra.
Matchday Live on Wolves TV. Listen for free online at wolves.co.uk or on the move anywhere in the world via the Wolves app.
The Old Goal Club has a new series, My Golden Game. Speaking to former and current players, coaches, managers and fans of the matches that meant the most to them.
it's a club who I have in my heart, and I always keep following it.
I'd been back to Molineux on a few occasions, and I'd never got a good reception, and that hurt me a little bit. Not that I thought I deserved better, but maybe because of those two games against West Brom, where I scored 4 goals in 2 appearances.
Check out the series so far, featuring the likes of Julian Lescott, Kevin Doyle, Neil Emblem and Dennis Irwin.
I was absolutely delighted when they came in from England, and even more so when, after having a tough first 4 or 5 months, that we were on a bit of a roll and ended up playing in this fantastic game.
All Gold Club, My Golden Game, available now.
Wolves TV, the home of live uninterrupted radio commentary of every single Wolves game.
Here it is! Oh, you beauty!
But that's not all. Wolves TV also brings you extended and alternative match highlights, interviews with the team, behind-the-scenes features and training coverage, plus see every goal Wolves score from every angle.
Jota on the volley, oh, what a goal! That is simply stunning!
So check out Wolves TV online at wolves.co.uk or on the move via the Wolves app. Matchday Live on Wolves TV. Listen for free online at wolves.co.uk or on the move anywhere in the world via the Wolves app.
So, derby defeat for Wolves at Molineux this Saturday lunchtime, beaten by just that 1-0, late as it came as well from the penalty spot. We'll get you some reaction, thoughts of Carl Ikeme and Chris Iwelumo here. Keems, I'll come to you first of all. I think it was a penalty, wasn't it, in the end? I think it's just such a harsh way to lose a game that was so tight and closely contested.
Yeah, it's disappointing. As soon as you see him getting behind, you're a bit worried. You could see him waiting for the contact, and you knew what McGinn was waiting for as well. As a Wolves player would do the same. So it's disappointing the way to lose, conceding a penalty in a game we shouldn't really have lost. We had the better chances in the game. Difficult game to assess because I felt like we had the better chances but didn't play well at times. But yeah, disappointing. Yeah, walked out my room, nearly chopped my laptop. The whole lot kind of went on like as the penalty got given. I don't know. You always get a bit worried when you don't. You've had chances and you've not taken them. Even if I felt like we could have played better, you almost felt that a sucker punch could come, and yeah, it did. And it's just bitterly disappointing.
Was there a foul on Martinho in the build-up? That's, I guess, a question, Chris Iwelumo, that many will ask in the build-up to the penalty decision.
Yeah, you know what? I think some of the referees would give it. I think there probably was. You know, he got a couple wrong for me today. The referee, Mike Dean. I have to say, I was just thinking, Semedo defensively was switched on. He came in and made some great headers just a couple minutes before. And I'm sitting thinking, you know what? That's it. And it's a hard one because I know John McGinn very, very well. I know the link up with him and Grealish. He's got into a fantastic position. It's a great little bit of skill. He knows exactly what he's doing, putting it through the obviously Semedo's legs there. I'm just thinking from like Tomo and Keane's, you know, from a defensive point of view, Semedo knows that he can't go near him there. John McGinn's got the better of him, hasn't he? So basically, because you know, it's a hard one to describe to you, Mikey, because footballers, we see a picture. We see it happening in slow motion, exactly what it is. So you've got time, like what happened with Manny the other day when he took his foot out. He's seen it happening in slow motion, and he had the ability to do that. So I just think Semedo there doesn't need to make a challenge. He knows that John McGinn's got the better of him. He's got on the wrong side of him. You don't make any contact. If anything, you got to let him go and hope that Connor Cody or Saiss has seen the danger and got across there. But Tom, I'm not sure in that position. Have you just got to try and get a little bit lucky?
Yeah, I think he's a little bit eager going after him, hasn't he? So, because when he's gone in initially, McGinn's coming running at him, And as he's done that, he's put it through his legs and run around the other side. I think that he was just a little bit too, possibly just a little bit too eager to try and win the ball initially. And he's just got caught out with it, with the ball going past him. And then once he's gone past him, he was always going to be in trouble. So, look, he couldn't go anywhere near him. We just saw the replay. He's just caught the back of his leg. Yeah. And there's only one place where McGinn's going, and that's down, and unfortunately. So, look, it's a major blow, isn't it? So, like, to lose the game so late on. But
the game should have been out of sight.
Yeah,
we had enough chances, and we commented on Emiliano Martinez before the match. He was outstanding. He was outstanding. Fabio Silva, the little one that's come off. I'm looking at that. I'm looking at the spin on the ball, Keanes. Yeah. I'm looking at it where it hit the post. How is that not what came up off the post and in? I can't. I'm trying to work. I'm not. I mean, I don't.
Yeah, we had chances, didn't we? I think Emmy was brilliant today, but at the same time, we had the chances to put past him. You know, maybe we shouldn't have given him the chance to be brilliant. I suppose if that's what we're being ruthless about it.
Yeah, we've got to be ruthless. We have to be ruthless because I know that Nuno and the players will be ruthless. That chance came into Dendoncker. He's took it on the full. It's a fantastic connection, but again, it's a good height for Martinez.
It's a great connection, and it's a great save as well. And another day,
it's a good height, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's a good height. I'm not going to take away from the save, but you know, it's we had chances today, and I think just to lose the game in that way is disappointing. It's deflating.
Well, that's the point, isn't it, Keames? I mean, James says system changes don't matter if we don't take our chances. It seems like that is a general feeling from many that, you know, they could have gone on. It was always, like you said, it was always going to leave them open late on in the game, especially against the 10 men. This kind of thing can happen. What do they need to do differently? Because you boys were quite vocal at halftime about the need to get that ball up in the more forward areas. That it wasn't necessarily the change at the back that was causing them the issues in not being able to be as much of a threat or look as composed as maybe they ordinarily do. So where are we with the way this team is at the minute?
In my opinion, I felt that although we had really good chances in the game and looked sharp at times going forward, I didn't think we had that sustained pressure at points in the game where it's like wave and wave after attack until maybe the sending off happened and we had a little bit of a wave, but then we got caught on the counter really. But I just felt like we didn't have any control in the game, where Villa had control at times without the chances. And I felt when Neves came on, he had a bit more sharpness of pass, that had a bit more sting in his pass as well. And I suppose we're trying to create both. We want to be solid, but also have an attacking presence, and we've not quite hit that balance as of yet. And I think it's just something to be worked on even more. I think the first time in the first half, when we finally got a ball into Valencia, got on the half turn and was straight at their defenders, and we created it. I think it was the Fabio's chance. I think we haven't been able to get in that position from the back often enough throughout the game, and I think that's what caused us problems. I felt like it kept on coming back at us when we were trying to play.
As good as me, boys, say if you don't take your chances, the team's always going to be in it, and say the sucker punches towards the end. You've had enough chances to win the game comfortably, and the problem what you've got is, as happened in the game, it just leaves you susceptible to that attack where they could just have one chance of getting in, and that's what they got.
Let me just read you this, because these stats make interesting reading. It ended up being 50-50 possession-wise across the whole game. Wolves with 16 shots to Villa's 13, but this is the one that counts really. 7 shots on target for Wolves to only 2 for Villa. I mean, I guess you could say that a lot of them came down to Dendoncker, and Emi Martinez has produced something special. Villa having more corners than Wolves. Wolves committing way more fouls than Villa, and that's a point you made, Tomo, in the game, that, you know, taking away some of the things that we discuss about Grealish and the way Villa play, Wolves have got to be a lot more canny, haven't they, in some of these situations. Looms, I know you want to jump in on this, that at times they just gave the referee the option. And when we talk about it in the terms of the penalty as well, it may be part of the same issue, that sometimes they're just a little bit too keen and they've got to play the game better.
Yeah, I understand manage the game. You think, 5 minutes to go, the sending off comes. Are you happy with the point? Okay, don't throw everything. Don't go hell for leather and be out of position. Take unnecessary risks. Still be quite aware. You got to remember that Mike Dean got it wrong with the Pedence one on the halfway line that actually gave Villa the possession to actually come back. That's never been a free kick.
No, I agree with Mings.
So let's talk about what Keane's just said there. And I know what you asked there, Mikey. Yeah, they've got to be clever. They've got to manage the game better. But our bits of quality came from individual brilliance. It was either Pedence, who was amazing on the ball, who would create, and Neto at the other side. It was those players that drove, that took the players on, that then created. It wasn't a phase of play. What can you remember when we actually went 7 passes on the bounce and we opened them up? Because that's what Villa done to us. So it's we've got individual players that are excellent. And like you say, Tom was spot on. Created enough chances to be out of sight today. Yeah. So when you think about the formation, you think they'll go in and Nuno will assess it and he'll look at it. He'll think, okay, he'll look at the 4, he'll look at the 3. We created lots of clear-cut chances. Their goalkeeper won man of the match. That says a lot. So what do you say? You think about, right, okay, we're creating chances. We've got players that have the individual quality that are making things happen. You just got to be clinical in your day. And I know it's like a broken record, but scoring goals is the hardest thing to do in football. We've had enough chances to do it today, and we were punished.
Okay, well, here's the opposite side to that then. Playing devil's advocate a little bit, the point might be made that if you're not scoring goals, and bear in mind they don't have Raul Jimenez, so goals are going to be harder to come by, do they need to maybe sacrifice a bit of the attacking stuff, Keames, that you're talking about in trying to be more forward thinking to make sure that they don't lose these matches?
I think it's difficult to have everything in football, to have the attacking prowess and to be solid at the back. I think it's hard to get that balance, but I suppose as well, can they sit back as well and play? Especially with Raul, is a huge miss to us. Let's not. Let's be real about it. When he's the only man up there, if we are playing for it at the back, he's a handful. I was impressed with Fabio again today. He done really well. He's growing. He's a young boy. He's going to get better. He's going to improve, but he's just not Raul yet. And I don't expect him to be Raul yet. I don't have them expectations, but I understand why I think he done well. I understand why he has to play, because we need a focal point as well, because we need Pedence and Neto and Troy. And I think even before Raul got injured, you could see Nuno trying to get them all in the game somehow. And I feel like we're trying to go for more control in the game necessarily, because even when we were playing for it at the back, we looked solid and we looked untroubled, but we never really had control in games as well. So the only thing I thought going through the period, will he bring an extra midfielder on to try and get control of the centre, to try and get Pedence and Neto a bit more into not the one into the game, but try and have a bit more control of the game and a bit more waves of attacks.
Just trying to get you to get to that point, really, where I guess the big question that fans will ask now in the coming days, with Chelsea coming on Tuesday, there is no Moutinho, so you imagine Neves comes in for him. Are you going to put in an extra defender and go back to 5 at the back and have to sacrifice one of that front 4? Or are you happy to stay with the way they're playing? Because as you've all said, they created a lot of chances to win the game today. On another day, they might have won it comfortably. Which way do you go?
I think as a squad with the quality of depth that we have, you can go from one to the other depending on who the opponent is. I thought Dave Edwards answered it excellently last week. Against the teams that are going to have more of the ball, and we believe that Chelsea will probably dominate the game with the ball possession wise. So why don't we go back to what we know? It's counter-attack football. We're hard to break down, but then we've got the speed of thought, the speed of play from back to front with quality that we've got to hurt teams. It's been a success when we played against, like you say, the bigger teams. So it wouldn't surprise me, especially losing Moutinho as well. Of course, Neves comes in and does exactly that. But you've got the likes of Dendoncker that can go from defensive midfielder to attacking midfielder, get himself in the box. You've got the end of a couple today. So you have the personnel still. I think the Moutinho one's not such a big loss for the fact that you've got Neves that can come in and do exactly that. Probably a little bit, I'd say probably a little bit better with his distribution, with his range of passing. Neves takes the gamble rather than Moutinho just breaks it up quite nice. So, you know what? I know that he's sticking with this formation, but like Edo said, you can also fall back onto that. And then it brings the likes of Connor Cody in it. He's got the distribution. He can play the wide men. But yes, you are going to be sacrificing one of those front four.
I also think as well that I know we can go back to formation of three at the back, but I kind of want to see us figure this out, because I think if we get it right, I think it can be really important for us. And I think just maybe losing Jota, he can get the ball and drive at the pitch. I know Traore can do it, and Neto can do it to a degree, but I feel like you want Neto and Podence in around them tight spaces a bit further up the pitch, and Podence can make that magic happen with a very small space, or he can just get on the turn and play that sort of number 10 or that elusive player and kind of give him the free rein. And I think if we can get a bit more control in the game and get him into the game further up the pitch, I think he'll be even. I'm saying like he wasn't threatening today. They were all threatening today in a degree, but I think it's just that element of control, and I'm not too sure how we're going to do that. But I'd like to see how we can progress our style, because I think ultimately that's what Nuno is going for, to a progression. He could sit there and go back to the three quite easily and say, I'm comfortable. Let's just do what we're comfortable in. Or do we try and progress to the club that we want to be?
Go on, Tomo.
Yeah, I'll just think that, Salok, as Edo touched on the other night, Salok, about if you're coming up against a team who I think Chelsea are going to be pushing for the title this year, me personally, that's my opinion. And with what they've got up front as well, and in attacking areas, I think it's going to be a difficult game. I think they're going to have thinking. But it's great that they can change formations depending on who they play. And I think that come midweek, we're going to have a think about how the way that Chelsea play. And we know what they can do. We know that they can hurt teams in that front line, what they've got. And maybe it might be that we have to change formation depending on the opponents that we're playing against. And as I touched on the other night about playing against Liverpool's, your Chelsea's, you're looking to change things to try and make it a little bit better. Look, we're going to lose one of the four up front if he does that, but I still think that we've got enough up front that we can hurt teams and we can cause a problem.
I also think as well, it goes back to what Looms was saying. You need to take one of the chances. If we look at what the game boils down to, ultimately, it's a mistake from Semedo and us not taking one of our chances really. And I suppose even at Liverpool, you can get beat 4-0 at Liverpool if they're really on fire. But there was individual errors that kind of set them on the road and got them going. So I think that will be frustrating. I know we can talk about formations and everything like that, and I've been vocal about it myself that we didn't really get into a rhythm. If you break it down into the stats you had, we had the chances to win the game, and they didn't really have many. They had 2 chances on target, and we made a mistake in the 95th minute.
But that's what it's all about. You've got to take your chances. It comes down to that. So, like, okay, the formation I thought was okay today. I thought we did all right with it. So, like, it's probably a little bit better in the second half. But you know as well as me, if you take your chances, the game's done. The game's over. And you're always susceptible to that chance what's going to open up at the end towards the game. And that's what happens. So, look, if you don't take them, they're always in the game.
Nuno, in talking to the media down at pitchside, said he was very pleased with Fabio Silva. Looms said he worked hard and linked with his teammates. I think we all probably in agreement that Fabio did pretty well on his first Premier League start.
Yeah, like you say, I think he can be more of a threat from balls coming in, but that might not be one of his strong points. Definitely something to work at with the quality that was coming in from wide areas, but like you say, linked up very well. Good footballer, intelligent footballer, good movement as well. Very unlucky not to open the scoring today, and even his reaction when the little kind of bicycle kick, it's a little bit more purchase on that, and he's probably got Martinez scrambling a little bit. But yeah, I think it's a good performance.
I was really impressed with him, to be honest. He's a young boy, and the chance that he hit the post, he's done everything right. He's a whisker of getting his first goal for us, and he's a player that will grow. And I suppose he's kind of thrust in a bit earlier than Nuno wanted to put him in. Really, I'm sure Nuno kept on wanting to getting minutes and building up. But, you know, it would do well for Wolves and us in the long run. And I was impressed with his movement, and he'll keep learning, he'll keep getting better for us. But I think it's important that he plays as well, to be honest, because I don't think the false nine of having a Traore, I can't imagine a Traore, Neto or Podence really doing the job that he's doing. And I think it would take away from them if they are up there as a number 9. So I think he'll be starting more games than that until Raul gets back.
I was going to say, I think if Raul's out, he's got an opportunity, hasn't he? And so, like, that's what it's all about, taking those opportunities. And look, say, talk about fine margins and getting yourself a goal and getting yourself on the score sheet. And that's what it was today, wasn't it? On various opportunities, especially the one off the post.
Well, positives to take by the sounds of things off a disappointing result in the end. It also, of course, meant that we weren't able to win any money for the Wolves Foundation with our charity bets from our betting partners, Boyle Sports, today. Next game, I think Carl Ikeme will get the chance perhaps to try and have a little bit of a charity bet and see if we can try and earn some money for charity at an important time of year. Boys, thank you very much indeed. Great to hear from you again, as ever. Start of a couple of really busy days from Wolves TV. We have the under-23s in action in another derby, a big old derby weekend against West Bromwich Albion on Monday afternoon. That is live to watch, absolutely free on the Wolves TV. And then we're back on Tuesday night, Matchday Live Extra. We'll all be here for the visit of Chelsea. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. We'll see you then.